Alrighty, welcome back to Voyages of the Defiance. At the moment, we are 2 days after the encounter with the Saint Vestius, and the Defiance has found a city. First spotted by Philo Cord from the Crow's Nest, slowly the great city of Ravinium comes into sight over the course of the next hour. The city is a familiar one to you, Captain Svensson. Your raiders would always avoid this powerful bastion of imperial might. Even from this distance, its hilltop palace and wide harbor are visible. But all is not right in the city. Near the heart of the city is a black stain. 4 blocks by 4 blocks, hundreds of buildings have been reduced to cinders. The docks have been quarantined off from the rest of the city by barricades, and the flag of the Southern Legions flutters from the top of each of them. The plague, notice, might have been a slightly understated problem, though how any plague could survive the army of clerics and paladins that the Empire has at its disposal is beyond you. At the moment, the Defiance is steadily drifting eastward. The wind is not in its favor, but the oarsmen in the hold solve most of that problem. And there are 2 little dinghies that are rowing in the direction of the Defiance.
Should I go up to meet them, or would this be a time where I just tell the oarsmen to stop and wait for them to come?
You're well outside the harbor of Ravinium, so you could probably just continue until they're basically online with your ship and then drop anchor.
Alright, yeah, we'll do that then.
Alrighty, the Defiance continues forward. Anchor is dropped. The contents of the 2 dinghies are 2 rowers and then bureaucrats, not soldiers. The first of the dinghies makes contact with the vessel. You lower down a rope ladder. He pulls his way up. He is dressed in a brown toga and has a small little purple slash across the clothing. And he gives a nod towards you, Captain Svensson. And he says, "Greetings! Are you the captain of this vessel?"
What language do we say it in?
He says it in common.
I am.
And are you also the owner, or is there someone else to meet with?
I'm a representative of the crew. We own the ship together.
He seems to look around the top deck of the ship and look at each of them. Interesting. All right, well, I'm a employee of the Department of Coin. It is my duty to conduct a full manifest of your vessel and confirm it against what you report to be in your hold. Can you provide me with any documentation of what your cargo contains and then assist me in this endeavor?
This
St.
is
Vestius already did this.
This is...
Yeah, Ethan,
Yeah,
we
is this-
because we did this.
Is this something covered under what the Vestius did? Or is
I don't
this
think
for,
you know that
like,
specifically,
tax
but you do have a
purposes?
stamp on your manifest that says it has been searched.
Okay, but the manifest does actually have everything we have on it, barring that
No.
20 pounds.
Oh,
of,
yeah, barring the stuff you've hidden, yes, it has everything.
which I think is the only thing we've hidden, right?
Yeah, like yeah.
Yes, just the 20 pounds of...
Well, didn't we also hide
fireballs.
the flags in the
Correct,
cabin?
and
Yeah,
some
but
of
the
the
flags
yeah,
are-
and some other stuff. But,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah,
falsified
okay, what
ledger
is
and the
hidden?
falsified manifest.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, I will. I'll go recover the manifest or have someone do it, and then point out. We were searched by a ship upon entering waters. Does that cover this?
He whistles down to one of his porters who's down in the dinghy, and they hand up a large tome. He unfurls the tome, goes to a column, just moves his finger down. And which vessel did you encounter?
I'll look to someone else because I don't remember.
St. Vestius.
Oh, the Saint Vestius.
All right, they were in those territorial waters. Show me the stamp.
Open the ledger. Show him.
He waves down to the porters. They send up another book. This one's a pretty thin folio that contains a stamp for each of the different ships patrolling territorial waters. He looks through the 6 pages of the folio, finds the stamp of the St. Vestius, looks at the one inside of your journal, gives a nod. All right, then. You've passed my piece of inspection. An additional employee of the Department of Coin will be making their way here. And he looks over at the dinghy, the second dinghy that's starting to, dock the other side of the Defiance. And I believe that will be our colleagues in the Department of Civility.
Oh.
Uh,
All right then.
And the
Yes.
man in his brown toga will climb down the rope ladder, and his little dinghy will begin to withdraw.
Is the Department of Coin the tax man? Is that who would take the money for taxes? Or is that
Partially,
the other guy?
kind of, yes. They do a lot of stuff, okay?
All right, yeah.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah, there's grumblings amongst the crew about, how long is this going to take? A lot of them are a bit
Yeah.
anxious to get back on land.
Yeah, there you go, Euro.
And one of the people climbs up from the other dinghy. He actually looks a lot like your ship's surgeon. He wears this very nice black
That's
fine
why
clothes.
he's
He
here.
has a little ruffle around his neck made of white fabric. And he has little spectacles on, which is more fancy than your surgeon, because your surgeon can't afford those. And he sort of looks around the crew. He seems to be inspecting visible skin where he can see it, and then he looks towards you. Says, Captain Svensson, as you may know, the city of Ravinium and all of southern Mythosia is under a plague notice. That means if you wish to dock in the harbor, each member of your crew will have to undergo a physical examination by me.
Is that completely necessary?
Yes.
All right, then.
If you have female members of the crew,
there
there can be a cleric or some other nurse sent for from the shore if needed.
I'll look to Kaheen. Is that going to be an issue?
He's dead. He's muted. Deceased.
Okay.
Rip.
Penalizationism. Absolutely screaming into his mic.
Yeah,
He's gonna run
screaming
into Jackson's room in a bit.
Oh, hi, Ben.
Whoa!
Oh, there he is.
I give a small nod. Yes, it is an issue.
Yeah, the
Yes,
surgeon
please-
doesn't seem
please
surprised.
send
He'll
for the
nod
clerk.
and look at one of his porters and say, send for nurse Hypotonia. She'll probably be free off her shift. And the dinghy will begin to withdraw from the vessel, and he'll say, all right, for male members of the crew, the process is simple. You can point me towards the area on the ship you would like me to set up, but each member of your crew will have to be completely naked. I will inspect them for sores, buboes, or other signs of the Lucretian plague, and then the exam will be completed. How many men are aboard this vessel?
100 and...
38.
Is that the confirmed number?
I think so.
I don't have the...
That is a bosun question. So.
Yeah,
Says
I'll
100.
look,
No. Wait.
I'll look to the bosun.
Who's in Strongheim? How many people are aboard the vessel?
As the Excel
Yep.
document is loading.
As the ship's ledger, excuse me. I don't know what this Excel document is. I don't know.
My immersion.
That, but unironically.
Yeah. Ship crew. Hold on. I'm just gonna.
It does.
He's getting
There's
there.
no
The
total
bosun-
on here.
The bosun
There is a
aggressively-
total. Yeah, it's,
Oh, where?
The total is
It's,
the ship crew.
Oh,
I think there's
crew.
200, Yeah.
Yeah, 100 flat. I'll say.
Okay. The
100.
surgeon nods and he reaches down into his bag and which recovers a pair of thick leather gloves and says, well, if you'd like to be in the harbor before morning is over, then we should get started quickly.
all right, I'll point him into my quarters. You can set up in there.
Yeah.
Modicum of privacy.
He has a couple of white cloths in his bag that he'll use to sort of make like an impromptu room in the center of your room where like there's these 4 curtains of cloth. And it's a pretty routine inspection. About 20 people in, a nurse will come. She is similarly sort of like bundled up tightly, and she will inspect Kaheen. And luckily, since you guys haven't been in any cities where the plague has been present, there's not much of an issue. It's a little bit awkward for some members of the crew, but it is what it is. No one on the ship has the plague, so it just takes time. And that's the biggest thing about all this bureaucracy. It's just going to devour time. By the time they are done looking at all 100 members of the crew, about 2 hours has passed. And already
In the midst of this.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, can I pull the man at arms and Adrian aside?
Who's the man at arms? You mean Marine Sergeant?
Yeah, Marines or whoever's in charge.
He meant the Master of Arms.
Oh,
Yeah, the
sure,
Master
sure,
of
sure,
Arms.
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I just
want
want to talk to them about. Yeah, I just want to talk to them about the repeat shot thing.
Well,
Yeah.
Talk to him.
Yeah. Do I have them?
Yeah, almost.
here?
And Adrian can head to the forecastle where one of the cannons is sitting. It's not quite mounted to the ship yet, but plans are being made.
Captain, I have some great news. Same for you,
Oh.
Mister. Who's the Master at Arms? What's his name again?
Almost Gambitar. I just gave you a handout of what
Whoa,
he looks
look
like.
at that lad. He looks like a good barber.
Very 1870s.
Mr. Adrian, Mr. Gambitar, I have some great news I'd love to share with you.
Do tell.
Well, I've figured out how to not use cannonballs.
The Master at Arms looks at you, sort of,
What?
puts his hands together.
Really?
Yes. It is something I've figured out quite early on. I've been applying to my musket, but
Oh,
as I've grown.
this is an Artifabrian infusion.
Oh.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I've
sir.
heard of these. They use them in very limited amounts in the armies of the Ascendant Emperor to the west.
Mhm. Yeah.
I have some small concerns related to it. I've heard that you cannot change your type of shot when using Artifabrian balls, that they can only fire round shot. But since we only have round shot at the moment, I suppose that's not much of a loss.
Yes, and in the long term, I assumed it would just save us, in my opinion, a fuck ton of money.
Well, you'd
Insane
have to ask
amounts
the
of money.
quartermaster about that. I'm not sure how much stone cannonballs even cost, but it certainly would save the men time. Can you do this for both cannons or just one?
I could actually do. How many infusions can I hold right now? Hold on, I need wiki.artificer.
My guess is 2.
At level 7, it's probably you can have like 3
Rudo
active.
consults his
Yeah.
spellbook, also known as his wiki dots.
Yeah, you can have 3. Yeah, you can have 3 items infused at one time.
Yeah, both of them. Yes, I could do that.
The
And
Master
is
at
it-
Arms nods.
Is it true you can't change shot?
Yeah.
Oh. Well.
Wait,
All we have is
You
round
just
shot
load it
though,
with-
so why does it
Oh.
matter?
The Master at Arms nods and says, "Correct. It's no big loss at the moment. And if we do get any new type of shots, we can always load them into the gun."
Oh, I see. Is that that's how it works?
Again, only
Mhm.
off my
Oh.
understanding. I've never actually encountered these. The one story I've heard of them being used was from a couple of months ago at the city of Qua. It was said that the Alceranians began to bombard the city, but they began to run out of stones to launch from their great bombards, and so they pulled up their Artifabrian core and were able to convert several of their guns to fire nearly 24 hours a day.
Did the guns stand up to that?
Not all of them, but most did.
Oh. Well, yes, Rue, I think it's an excellent idea.
I'll need some days with some.
Disagree.
Yes, I'll need some days with some arcane etching, but other than some quiet from time to time, I won't have any trouble.
I imagine most of the crew will be on shore for the next week, so that shouldn't be an issue at all.
Ah, yes.
I'd be more than happy to assist you. Me and my men were working out the specifics of how to mount these guns on the ship, and we'd be more than happy to help you do any etchings that are needed. I'm not sure how technical they are.
There you
Yeah.
are then.
Hmm.
Good. Excellent,
Now let's
excellent
get
idea,
started.
Rudel. Excellent.
Yeah, as Rudel begins to plan out what the final image will look like on the back of this cannon, to essentially summon in a cannonball, the next of the bureaucrats climbs up a rope ladder.
The next one?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
What?
Another one.
Uh,
Another one.
This one is also from the Department of Civility, same as the surgeon. He wears a green toga, though it's a very dull green, with a single purple stripe across it, and, he will approach you, Captain Svensson, and say, "Greetings. I have come from the Department of Civility to inform you that no weapons are to be brought ashore."
Is that normal?
In the Bedosian Empire, yes, but
Oh, okay. Alright, well,
not in the city-state, obviously, because it's the city-state.
damn Bedosians.
Real.
All right.
He
I
holds
do
out a
suppose.
document which has a quill feather that's already been pre-dipped in ink, and he points at a square. You'll need to check that and then put your legal name underneath it in signature form, please.
Can I read the whole thing? Damn these Bedosians.
It is 2 lines long, and it says that he
Oh,
told
nice,
you that you
okay.
can't bring weapons to shore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll check and sign.
Alrighty. He will return to his dinghy, and a 4th bureaucrat will climb aboard the vessel. They wear a brown robe, purple sash from the Department of Coin, very similar to the first one. In fact, it is the same man from the first one, but he has come to do the 4th step in the process, which is to collect the names of everyone in the crew and assess your residency status within the Empire, aka are you a citizen, are you a resident, or are you nobody? And he needs to go through person by person. And he needs to ask them these questions, and he needs them to sign and agree that they were asked these questions.
Damn it!
Let's
That'll
go.
be all 100 members of the crew.
Alex, does everybody know their signature?
Probably not, because many members of the crew are illiterate. In which case, the person from the Department of Coin will write their name for them.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, fucking let's get this shit started with. Can I ask him if we can get whoever the next bureaucrat is to come up while he's doing that?
He looks at you and says, I have no control over the specifics of the inquest process.
How many are there? How many
Okay,
bureaucrats
I'll-
are there?
Well, at this point, there's been 4, and you see 1 additional dinghy approaching the vessel.
Oh,
Another 2 more.
I'll totter
What is
over
there-
to the
what
side
is
of the
there, like-
boat, look into the boats that are there already. Anyone else?
Most of these men are porters. There is no bureaucrat waiting to climb to the deck. But the final approaching dinghy will, he'll shout from it. And he doesn't look like a bureaucrat. He looks like a sailor. And he'll say, Yeah, I come from the harbor master's office.
Okay, what can I do for you?
He doesn't wait until the dinghy's nice and docked. He just jumps over, grabs the rope ladder, pulls himself up.
Good.
He swings himself up pretty comfortably. All right, well, you're going to have to pay your dock fees, determine your length of stay, and, because the whole situation, you're going to be paying a quarantine tax. So, how long you planning to stay at port?
A week.
Alrighty. He seems to, mentally be measuring. This is 110 feet long?
That sounds right.
Alright, and 1 sail, 100 crew members. 1 week. Alright, it'll be, with quarantine tax. 9 gold for the length of stay.
Ian?
Yeah, I will go fetch that coin. As I'm going to fetch the coin, I notice that it seems that Rudel is drawing arcane symbols in his book, and it concerns me. And you said how many gold?
9.
9.
9 gold. Yuck.
That's funny.
Okay, that's like
Yeah.
more money than
You hand the coin over to the employee of the harbor master, and he will sigh very heavily and say, "All right, well, I need you to sign this as well. How the thing works." And he extends it over to you, to both captain and quartermaster.
I'll sign.
Yeah, it basically just says that you gave him 9 gold. You paid for your harbor fees, and he extends it to Kaheen as well.
Do I keep a copy of this
You
document?
do, yeah, if you want.
Alright.
I also
I
sign
would
my
like
name,
to.
but I do it in Ancient Apap.
Yeah, the guy literally isn't even looking at the thing, so he doesn't react at all. And he will toss the
Based.
board down to the other 2 porters, and he'll hop back down into the dinghy, and he'll say, "All right, well, once you're done with all this hubbubaloo, you can dock at Pier 4." And he points towards a long pier that's able to accommodate vessels of your size. There is currently only 1 other vessel docked on it. It could probably accommodate about 4. The other vessel is an Imperial warship.
Ooh.
A galley
Yummy.
specifically. And the dinghy will withdraw, and another 2 hours is burned as the Department of Coin guy collects the names of every member of the crew, many of them illiterate, writes down their names, figures out their residency status, and the conclusion is that literally 1 member of the ship is a citizen of the Empire. Everyone else isn't. So,
Is it
Who
Democritus?
is it?
it's Vernus Arminius, your surgeon.
Nice.
And
It's probably from the Department of Surgeons.
with that, the bureaucrat from the Department of Coin closes up his book, and he gives the captain a basically statement that if any member of your crew stays in the Mythosian Empire for longer than 30 days, you and everyone else aboard the ship will be held culpable for their illegal entry into the Empire.
Cool. So we'll just do a real good roll call. When we get back.
Yeah, because if someone tries to, hop ship and enter the Empire without going through a proper port of entry, it's your fault.
Is this like if they stay at all, or if it's like, hey, we noticed they're missing before we leave, we have to leave, go and report it to the proper authorities, then can we leave? Or...
You don't know. Do you ask to clarify?
Oh, no. Yes. Fuck of that.
The man will nod and say, well, in the event that a member of your crew is no longer responding and you cannot find them, you will need to make your way to the Department of Civility office and file in forms, I believe it is 15B, and speak with a representative from the Department of Civility, and then inform a member of the Department of War that this has taken place so that they can be marked as a fugitive and any legionnaires that come across them can detain them.
Alright.
Sounds pretty simple. Surely that won't take another 2 weeks.
Yes, surely that's, it's like going to get your driver's license. All you do is walk in, fill a form, and talk to someone. It's always that
Yeah,
simple.
all you have to do is ask for a driver's license.
Yeah. Getting passports are
All right,
simple, yeah, definitely. You just walk in.
Oh, God. Alright, cool. Please
So,
exit my ship.
no additional dinghies begin to approach your ship, and for a moment, you think you're free. And then
no.
the Defiance docks against the pier that they're meant to be. You tie up the ship, you get ready to, let the crew go. You get ready to do a big communal meeting atop the top deck of the ship. And then a group of 3 men approach, 2 of which are scribes, 1 of which is a bureaucrat. And now, rather than go through the specifics, we can skip. Only Captain Svensson will have to remain on the ship for this, but essentially, you will need to file your entire travel plan within the Empire. The previous ones that you did, you'll need to state your purpose here. You'll need to give them information you've already given before, members of everyone on your crew, your manifest. You'll need to register each of your weapons that are aboard the ship. This includes like swords all the way up to cannons separately with the Department of War, which these guys will take care of. So basically, Svensson, the rest of your day is going to be spent in your office with these 3 men, going over everything you've already done and new stuff.
Damn it!
Welcome to the Mythosian Empire.
God!
Adrian is allergic to bureaucracy.
Play D&D to escape bureaucracy and military.
Welcome to
Only
the
to-
Mythosian Empire, baby.
Thrust back into this.
Let's go.
And just prior to you getting
my
stuck in
escapism.
bureaucratic hell is you can give a speech to the crew. Because the men, despite them, about to devour the rest of your day, they do understand that you guys have been traveling for a long time, and while you need to be here, the rest of your crew can chill. So, what do you tell your crew about port leave? Instructions.
So this is
your safety
This is
briefing.
where I explain. All right. Oh, okay. Yep, I got you. No
Wrapping up,
weapons. Not a sword. Not a dagger. Not that little bitch knife you keep in your sock. Nothing. Obviously, that should also restrict you all from getting into trouble, but I know it won't. So just don't involve the authorities. I'm gonna go with that one. Yeah. Don't involve the authorities. You've already seen the hellscape that they will cause. Don't do it. And don't run off. You will get brutally hunted down and killed. They don't like that. Other than that, have a good time. You all earned it. Be free.
All right, there's a couple of cheers amongst the men. However, before this great bundle of people break up, about 3/4 of them remain on the ship, and they seem to start to swarm Kaheen. And the first one in the line is Philo Cord, and he'll say, "So, Quartermaster, we haven't, we're not going to get paid till the expedition's over, but, the men will want to enjoy being in harbor. So, I talked to some of the other people on the ship, and, most of the members of the crew are hoping for a cash advance.
A cash advance.
Yeah, get paid out early so they can enjoy their port leave.
With how much?
2 electrum per man.
All right, it's 5 electrum per gold, right?
Yes.
And there's like 90 men I'd have to
Wait,
give this
electrum.
to.
No, it's 10 electrum per gold.
10? Okay, I always, there's one of them that's wonky, and I always forget it.
Yeah, it's silver.
Oh,
Silver's
that's-
worth 20.
That's silver too. Okay.
So in total,
Okay,
that
sorry,
would be...
so it's 10.
It's basically the number of players here minus 100. Or it's 100 minus the number of players here. So it'd be 100 minus
Wait,
1,
that-
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it'd be 97. No, 93. Jesus.
No, because
No,
the
but-
debt slaves.
Oh, true. They don't get paid.
So, like,
Silly billies.
more than half the oarsmen are not included in that.
Yeah,
they're
well, and neither
slaves.
is
50.
neither is Democritus nor the.
Also true. Oh yeah, and the other guy. So it's Democritus, this
There's
person.
a sail
So
maker.
it'd be 48 times 2. So it'd be 98 electrum.
Which would be what?
9.8
That's-
10 gold.
9.8
gold.
gold. Yeah,
10 gold
essentially.
plus some money changer's fee because I need to pay them in electrum.
Indeed. And you're going to have to mark down the fact that you've already paid out 10 gold to the crew, because I will not. And if, you may end up overpaying them in the future. So
I think,
Yeah.
shouldn't you mark down you've paid 2 electrum per, like, per
you could
man,
mark it that way,
basically?
or 10 gold for the whole crew. Same difference. But
Mark both.
Yeah.
mark whatever you want. You're the
All right.
quartermaster.
Mark the plier.
I'm gonna go find Junius. I'll tell him that should be fine, but I must consult with my my mate.
Yeah,
So,
basically 3/4 of the
getting
crew
that?
will
Do I
remain
get
on
some of
deck.
that?
What'd you say, Vezio?
I need some of that money.
Okay, never mind. Add it. It's now 51, so it is around.
In the meantime, can I pull a side file cord?
I don't think this is the best time, but yes, you should remind me about that later.
Okay.
So Vezio would also like to get on this, so that's going to be 49 people would like a payout. So it's almost exactly 10 gold.
Okay,
Oh.
great. So I'm gonna find Junius.
Mm-hmm.
Junius,
Yes.
have you heard of the people asking for an advance in gold?
Eric, is that a common thing?
It certainly, almost every single port leave ever, that is what's going to happen, yeah.
I guess I've heard of it.
Mm, They're saying that they're asking for us to pay a total of 10 gold up front, but I think I would have to run it past a money changer, which would mean more like 13 or 14 gold, and given the way that the officials in this city are acting, could be closer to 20 gold.
We could just take that out of their end payment as well. I don't see why we would have to bear the cost.
The reason why is I'm going to kind of lower my voice. I'm not entirely convinced that we end up paying them out that much at the end. We have done nothing to earn more money.
Yes, that's true. I've been concerned about that myself.
I think we can do it, but it means that we'll have to pick up some work along the way.
I was hoping that we were planning to do that anyways.
Okay, but well, see, if the payout isn't big enough at the end, then I think that the men mutiny, and although we would be paying them now and they would be getting the same amount of money in the end, they're going to go blow it all now on drugs and women, which means that I think that it just makes our problem worse, where they'll be more likely to mutiny even if we earn more money.
I see your point. We could simply tell them no, or lower their
Yes.
repayment.
I feel that maybe moves the problem of mutiny from a future problem to a now problem.
Well, it seems like they are degenerate who will mutiny anyways, so it's best to just make a decision.
Then I say we give them the coins, that it's not my problem now.
I would agree.
Alright, very good. And, yeah, Alex, I want to give them the money, but I think I do need to go to a money changer, right?
Correct. And luckily, the Money Changers Guild, even the mighty Empire, one of the biggest nations on the planet, cannot overcome the power of the Money Changers. So the rate is the exact same here as it is everywhere else, which is 30%.
We need, like, a money changer's one shot. I need to know what goes on with this organization. There has to be
There's a
one
lot,
people
okay?
going
They do a
on.
lot of
It's
work.
so pervasive.
There has to
It's
be some, like,
everywhere.
space.
So, you were correct, Ben. You did the math right. It's going to cost you about 13 gold to do
Okay.
this payout.
All right.
Are there
and then
any other
Jackson,
guilds that are?
can you note
No.
that
What?
just that we paid them all?
Yeah, where should I do that,
I
Harry?
don't know. Maybe just like in a little
Literally
note
wherever you want to
report.
put it. I can add a note section
Alright.
if you want. You can just put it in a random cell. It's however you will best remember it.
Dude,
Just
Alex,
sadness.
I'm gonna give them all 1 electrum and 20 silver. I think is probably the split that I want to do, because that just seems like a good way to give them coin.
Yeah, that would work, because, yeah, when you initially break the coin, that's when the 30% gets charged, so yeah, that works.
It was 49 members of the crew, right?
Yes, correct. 49, well, basically, yeah, 49 members of the crew got paid out 2 electrum in currency worth, or it's 1 electrum and 5 silver, totaling 13 gold of cost for the ship. Also, Vezio, add 1 electrum and 5 silver to your sheet.
Yes.
Dude, Vezio is that, he's that degenerate member of the crew that has no money and he wants some.
And by that degenerate member, you mean like
Basically
almost
the
all
entire
rest
crew
of
except
them,
for the
right?
officers who
Okay.
have like buku bucks already. Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
3 gold.
Well, that's a lot of money compared to the average member of your crew.
Damn, what the fuck? I got 3 electrum and I'm
Yeah.
rich.
Damn, I spent all my money giving like lying fines to the authorities.
Yeah. Welcome to the Dojin Empire.
And buying shit.
God, I hate this place.
Ah, it's so based. All right. I think that's it in terms of what members of the crew want. So, Captain Svensson will essentially be stuck in his office for the rest of the day, but the rest of you are free. So slowly, the entire crew, including debt slaves, will flow from the ship out into the harbor of Ravinium. The harbor district, you guys can go anywhere. You cannot go deeper into the city, though, because there are barricades guarded by legionnaires
Oh yeah,
who will kill you if you
Right.
attempt to leave the harbor.
Alex. One thing I forgot to include in the brief was just a required time. They all need to be back at the end of the week. I don't know if they.
Oh,
sleep
you're giving them the full
here
week in
on
the city.
ship?
You're not making them come back each night.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, you can
would
do
that be
either way.
normal
It's up to
procedure?
you.
Oh, I see.
Most people will probably come back anyways because it's a free place to sleep.
Yeah. No, I'll say they can. I'll say they can have the week if they so
they-
choose. If
they
they
wanna go by
somehow,
women.
Okay,
if they
sounds good.
strike it big or something, they can enjoy some privacy.
The Gat Methosion Poon.
Insane. So, Brutal, like you mentioned earlier, now would be a good time to grab Philo, because him and 3 other top men are starting to walk towards a bar that's on the waterfront.
Philo, a second.
He glances over his shoulder. Yes?
It'll only
Bosun?
take a second, I promise. I know
Kinda
you're.
like the other guy.
Philo's new to this ship, right? Like semi-new.
No. He has been
Oh,
on the
he-
ship since its first voyage with Captain Domitus. He is the
Oh.
senior topman.
Mhm.
Philo, we've been on this ship for a while, and I know some of my recent actions have garnered me in not so favorable and untrustworthy in most eyes, but
You're
wanted
speaking
to-
like a politician, sir.
yes. But I really just wanted to extend an olive branch and say that I respect you and all of your top men. And whatever concerns you or any of your top men have, I'd be more than grateful to bring them forward to Adrian and try and get what you need done.
You're not gonna, like, curse me if I say no, right?
No.
All right, then. He pats you on the shoulder and says, well, between you and I, you don't make me too much nervous. I mean, unlike most of these youngsters, I do remember what you did up in the north, in the colonies. Fishmen on the ship and all that. So, I'm more concerned about, that crab fella, or, I don't know. I mean, you gotta admit it's a bit strange, though. Burning symbol on your chest.
Yes, I'm worried about it too. Between you and me, I really just am worried about my family in Galadrim. I can't imagine what's happening to them there. I just I need the power to do something and to help them.
Yeah. He shrugs.
But enough about that. I'll extend my hand.
Yeah? Is there some sort of deal we're making?
Just shake my hand and see. Well,
He
that
looks at the
sounded
three
bad.
What?
He
Why
looks
would you
back
say
at the three
that?
other men.
That sounded bad. I'm trying to palm him a gold.
He'll look down and say, "Oh, yeah, of course," and he'll shake your hand and take the gold. Thank you.
For your mates.
I'll let them know.
Yeah, that was terribly said, but
He'll
I didn't
give
know
a
how to be
nod.
subtle about it.
Yeah, he'll give a nod and walk away with the three other men towards the bar.
Holy shit, I did so bad there.
Roll me a
But yeah,
persuasion
I'll-
check for that interaction. We'll see. Maybe Philo is charmed by the awkwardness of it,
Hmm.
Or maybe he's just weirded out.
or maybe he's just
Charisma.
weirded out. Persuasion if you have it, but yeah, if not charisma. Yeah, I mean,
Persuasion.
if you have
yeah,
proficiency,
I have.
yeah. Okay, then yeah.
Yeah,
do
I
that.
do have
We'll
it.
take your original roll, which was a 6.
Ooh.
No, we'll take your original.
11.
So your original roll was a 6, which modified by 5. Yeah, 11. So it's an 11. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't look uncomfortable. Just a bit like, that happened, but he has a gold now, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, him and the three men will walk away over towards the bar, and he'll show them the coin.
I also want to talk to Vezio.
Okay, well, Vezio, as you step off the Defiance without your armor or your weapons for the first time in a long time,
Not even my armor.
can't wear nothing, no. The Mythosians are very persnickety about walking around cities fully armed. And where are you going first with your 1 electrum and 5 silver?
I want to, first off, go to, I guess, a bar, and I want to spend, I guess, is it the afternoon, the day?
Well, yeah, Vezio,
Spend
as you're
some
making your
time
way
there.
towards a bar along the waterfront, along with, a couple other Marines who trail behind you, Bosun Strondheim will approach you. Rudo.
Hello.
Vezio. Oh, thank God I caught up to you. Oh. It's been a while since we've had a moment together. I thought we might. Well, I'll be frank. I need to take some time to learn more about the members of the crew. And you never really shared much, and frankly, you do know me as a curious fellow. Well, at least I hope. Would you mind drinking with me?
I'm not big on sharing, but I was heading to the to a bar for a while, so I suppose.
I'll laugh and say, quite the contrary. I'm proposing the inverse, and I'll flash him a gold.
Ooh, he's paying. Oh, shit.
Yeah, Blake's idea of making friends is giving them money.
Yes. Yeah, real.
Friendship is only conditional based
Yeah, one
on
of the
the
Marines
friend
who's sort of trailing behind you, Vezio, Huba, whose brother was killed during the previous boarding action, he'll sort of step forward and say, "Does that invite extend to the rest of us, Bosun?"
Well, I guess I'm not inclined to refuse more friends.
Yeah, friends.
Yeah,
He's realistic.
He looks over his
Yeah.
shoulder and says, "Horka, Yazu, come here. Gonna get some free booze, boys." And 2 young Marines, 16-year-olds, aboard the Defiance will go over and join Huba. So,
am I doing something now?
no, I mean, if you just want to take them to drink, that's fine. You can take this little group of 3 Marines and Vezio over towards a bar. The ones directly on the waterfront are always overpriced, so you go like 1 street in and then find a nice little seedy bar. There's not a lot of travelers from like land-based, because again, the city is fully quarantined, so it's mostly people either from the city or ships that got stuck here because one member of the crew had the plague, and so everyone else was told to remain here until they could figure out the extent of it. and you can sit down with the Marines, and they will start to rapidly burn through that 1 gold coin. You'll hand it over to the bartender. The bartender will force you to go break change with a money changer because they don't want to take the 30% hit, so you'll quickly be reduced to 7 electrum. Then you'll hand that 7 electrum over to the bartender, and then the 3 Marines will start ordering the most expensive stuff on the menu, which isn't necessarily even good. It's just the most expensive. But as the evening begins to wear on, and that coin is now fully gone at this point, is there anything you wanted to specifically talk to Vezio or the 3 Marines about?
I just want to know their backstory.
Yeah, well, how do you approach Vezio, a pretty private and quiet person, about trying to get him to tell you his past?
I guess I'll start being like, Vezio, so just what's your story? What brought you here? You never really shared much with anyone.
I'm probably a few drinks down, so I'm feeling up to talking. Well, I've been a soldier all my life. See, from when I was a kid, I was playing with sticks, learning how to make strikes at people. Pretty quickly, I was drafted into a local levy. That was good. We traveled places, fought people, and the war ended, you see. Yeah. And I didn't have much to go back to, neither did the boys in my unit, so we got together thinking it was a great idea to form a little band of mercenaries. The Black Rams, we call ourselves. And we, there's no war going on. It's hard being mercenaries when there's no war. We got drafted in a couple things, but nothing big. And it was a real struggle. We didn't want to sack villages to make the real coin. That's where the real coin is made. But eventually, we ran out of food, we ran out of money, and, well, I guess we went brigand. Then, I guess it all caught up to us. Some bit on the ground. Noble, his host, came and essentially destroyed us. I've never seen another member since then. Never seen my family. They were with us. But, that armor I wear, that noble didn't take us down for free. He lost his armor and his life.
Expect no less from someone of your stature. But how did that bring you here?
Well, my only real skill is killing people, so signing on as a Marine, I'm pretty good. It's not good pay, but it's good use of my skills.
Is that all you see yourself as? A weapon?
Killer, a weapon. That's all I know how to do. All I've ever bothered with.
Is there no goals to reunite with your old band? Your family?
My family is dead. My old band, all dead.
All of them? Not one?
I'm sure a couple might have survived. Took to the hills like I did. We were destroyed on that field. Even the caravan we had behind us. Everything.
Yeah. It's a sorry story. I'm sorry if I brought up old memories.
It's fine. It's good to talk about it so you don't forget, I guess. What about you? I don't really know much about you.
Well, I'm a noble from, well, used to be noble. My house burned down, 20 odd years ago. It was a bandit lord, flaming sword. Forget his name. But when my house burned, I heard my brother scream. I think I saw my sister running. I can't remember. But running away from those ashes, I left with at least the skill to meld. I took up small, odd jobs before there and then this pendant, and I'll hold up the Stroheim, I guess, medallion or signet. It's worthless now. But I have hope my family is there. I think my mother and father, I think I remember them running and or escaping. But like you, that brought me here onto this boat. And I found a family. And I hope you find solace as I have.
It's weird. Brigands brought about your demise and nobles about mine. And yet we fight together now.
That is quite ironic.
Elsewhere in the bar, one of the younger Marines, Horka, he sort of shouts across the bar to Vezio and says, "Look at this, Sergeant! I can drink it, without gagging now!"
Very good. You've got a long career ahead of you.
He nods, and looking up at your Marines, you notice that Horka and Yezu seem to have been taken in by the other people in this bar. A couple other Marines have stumbled in. Huba, the man who lost his brother, he's drinking a lot. It's one of those things where maybe he's just celebrating really hard, or maybe it's something else. He's not looking super great at the moment.
Okay, I'm going to keep an eye on him and make sure that he's starting to bring his drinking down.
Yeah.
We don't want him to cause a mess on the streets.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, zooming back a little bit in time, Shaiban, when you are let go from the ship and released at around noon, what are you doing?
Is there a Carpenter's Guild available at the harbor?
Indeed. In fact, the entire Dockworkers Guild, Shipbuilders Guild is located right along one of the piers.
Yeah, I'm gonna head over to the one currently being constructed ship. I'm assuming there's one that's currently.
There's a pretty small, what looks like a private vessel that's under construction. It's in a large workshop, but the double doors to the workshop are open to allow some air in, and you smell all the familiar scents, cut wood, teak oil, the things that are involved in the crafting of such fine ships.
Does it look like there's anyone kind of in charge of the ship building in the process?
Yeah, there's an older man in his late 60s. He has a tiny little medallion on his chest that depicts a hammer being held in a fist.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna walk up to him and ask, "Hello, is there a chance I could pick up work for a day? I'm looking a little low on cash, and I've got the skills to back it up."
Are you already a part of the guild?
And I'm gonna show my it's a Tibrasian guild, but yes, a member of the ship.
You're from the city state. I mean, are you a part of a proper Dojin guild?
I'm not.
He shrugs. Well, if you want, you can go file paperwork with that permanent coin, but that's more like a 3-month process, not a single day.
Jesus Christ. Alright, never mind.
He's
use
talking
it?
in common, but he just shrugs. Mumbles something to himself in Mythos.
I definitely do not speak
I
Methosian,
know.
so
That's why, yeah. He mumbles something to himself in Mythos. And he just goes back to, looking at the ship, looking at the designs for what the client wants in the end.
yeah, the main thing I want to do is talk to Adrian, but he's a little occupied, so I think for today I'm going to join a lot of the people down at the bar.
Sure, yeah, there are plenty of little groups to join. They've sort of the whole crew is split up into little groups traveling to town. Do you have any money
I'll
on you?
remember where I do have some money on me. I have 3 Electrum.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Where's Alexander Beach and Patrick Elm going?
Yeah, Patrick Elm, you lost sight of him when he was walking the direction of a sort of slummy area of the docks. Alexander
he's
Beach
gambling.
just seemed to walk directly towards the bar, though.
Yeah, I'll join Alexander Beach. I'm assuming many of the other people of the crew have also gone to that bar.
Yeah, you head inside the bar and you see a couple of top men. You see Cedric Ironjaw. He's doing his party trick where he removes his lower jaw because it's a prosthetic.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah, and Alexander
He
Beach
drank
is sitting
with
in a
it
sort of
later on.
quiet corner of the bar. He's holding a little it's a weird animal. I don't think you've ever seen this animal before. It has 4 stocky legs, a sort of long trunk, 2 little tusks emerging, big flappy ears, and he has a little carved thing of that sitting on the bar in front of him. He's just slowly sipping away at a large tankard of beer.
I'm just gonna sit down next to him.
He looks over.
Good work on the ship the past several days. It's been useful. Just wanted to thank you again as the master carpenter.
Uh-huh.
Listen, this may be a bit much to ask, and probably a better question for Kaheen or Adrian, but do you know where one can get more carpenters for a mobile vessel like this? I've only worked as a on-land carpenter.
Probably ask Captain Svensson. I'm sure after he's gone through 17 layers of bureaucracy, he should at least know where to buy something like that. I've never been
Yeah,
to
Xander,
Doja
that's
before.
that's on the docket. That's on the docket. For
Yep.
Stuff I have to do this week.
Yep. So what did Alexander say at
I've
the end
never
there?
been to Mythosia before. I don't know how their things function. In any proper city, you just walk to the harbor master, but here, I'm sure if you did that, they'd make you file in your height, your name, and your residency status.
Yeah, I tried to pick up a little job just for a week at the Carpenters Guild, and it's a 3-month process to even get signed with the Carpenters Guild.
He nods.
Just
Be
to fucking work.
expected. You've never left the city-state before, have you?
No, not once.
When on the second voyage of the ship, we went up to the Delian colonies, and we spent 2 or 3 months in this city called Saltmarsh. I tried to get work in the local town, even just odd jobs. It's just not possible. Most places won't even let foreign carpenters join their guilds at all, trying to reduce competition and the like.
That is frustrating. I'm just trying. I can help. What? I don't get it.
He looks over. I mean, how would you feel if you were doing your practice back in the city-state and a ship full of Mythosian carpenters showed up? They undercut your prices and they started making the same thing you make.
Fair, but I don't know, I feel like carpenting is a skill that could be shared amongst all.
Well, I'm glad you believe that, but no guild does. That's why the guilds exist, so that their members can earn more money. It's good when you're a part of one.
Yeah.
And the money changers.
Dude, wait, hold on. Based union talking points.
I mean, yeah, the guild are just yeah.
And yeah, I'll just continue to drink and mingle.
Yeah, Alexander Beach is a black hole of charisma. He's not very talkative.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You will not find Patrick Elm throughout the evening, but that's okay. Unios, what are you doing?
Well, he was gonna see if he could find any personal investments, but he's getting the feeling that he'll probably get cucked by bureaucracy.
Welcome to the Mythosian Empire.
So I think he is going to try and learn about the state of maritime affairs, trade routes, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Unlike the city-state, the most effective method of acquiring this information is not by hopping from bar to bar. It is by reading the published broadsheets. These are documents that are verified for authenticity by the Department of Coin, and then they are distributed to Department of Coin offices throughout the Mythosian Empire. Just finding that little piece of information that I just told you, though, will take a decent chunk of time, because most Mythosians, if you approach them and you speak anything other than Mythos, they will pretend they don't know what you're talking about. So it'll take you a little bit. Oh, you perfect.
Like
Never mind then. The first person you approach, you will ask them, and they'll let you know about the Department of Coin broadsheets, and you can make your way to the Department of Coin office. And yeah, I mean, major state of affairs in the world. As of yesterday, the plague notice has extended to the entire Mythosian Empire. It's in the city-state of the Invincible Overlord and the Isle of Galadrim. It is still illegal for any Mythosian ship to go into Alceranian waters, because currently that entire region is consumed by conflict, and the nature of trade treaties has not yet been sorted out. It is advised that if you pass by Hathon, you should keep a Mythosian flag flying at all times, because ships that are misconstrued as merchant vessels from the La Escatir Trading Company have been known to get boarded and sunk by the Hathanian Navy. Since you're going into the summer...
I forgot about the La Escatir Trading Company. Fuck those guys.
Going into the summer, the Hammer's Fall is expected to be pretty nasty this year. This prediction comes from a man who is listed as prognosticator from the Isle of Breton, and he predicts that this year there will be 50 storms during the summer, which would mean a storm on average, every 3 or 4 days.
What is a prognosticator?
Predictor of the future.
Prognosticationism.
Wonder how incredible this guy will be.
So,
we'll see how right he is.
Any other specific questions, Unios?
What are like the major trade routes through Valeros?
In general, the major trade routes are, let's go to the world map.
Yay.
Also, I should show where your ship token is. Because you know where you are for once.
Haha!
I mean, I hope that it's in Ravinium.
He just puts it at a completely different city.
1 second.
You guys weren't in Ravinium. You were in Prank Ravinium.
That's true. You didn't actually ask if you were in Ravinium. You could just be in Flamium right now. Okay, sorry, there was a small thing I needed to fix. Okay, cool. Yeah, right now you guys are here in the city of Ravinium. As for major trade routes, there are a couple. So I'm going to zoom out to the world map. So I'm going to be giga zoomed out. Okay. So the biggest trade route on the planet by far is the Bertelian Mythosian corridor. Essentially, I'm going to use a big... How big is this line? That's good enough. So basically, trade goes through this area called the Midland Sea, and it gets fed by basically like every northern kingdom feeds trade along that line. Then it travels down along the coast of Galadrim, makes its way to the Mythosian Empire. Then some specific goods will make their way over towards the city-state, which is way over here. Then some very specific goods will make their way up to the Delian colonies. And then back in Mythosia, some goods will divert from Noxius and go into the Delian League. So those are the world's biggest trade routes. There's a couple of really specific trade routes that are unique that don't follow this pattern, but in general, most goods flow from those locations to
Why is Al-Sirah not part of any of them?
Because Al-Sirah is not that economically prosperous.
Yet.
It has literally one port of entry.
Yet.
Yeah.
2, 3.
So yeah, we're following
those
exact
rivers are not considered ports of entry. Only St. Knezer is considered a port of entry.
Oh, okay.
Because it's deep water enough to support, actual ocean-going vessels.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the major naval trade routes.
It'd be really good for them if they could take over Galadrim at some point.
Yeah, Galadrim is perfectly positioned to be economically prosperous.
How is Galadrim doing politically right now? Are they in their
warlords?
Fucky stage?
As they have been for the last 100 years, warlords are still running rampant on the island.
Actually, they got better now. They're doing fine.
You should ask Rudel about those warlords.
Oh, that's funny.
So this stretch of trade route is basically not directly managed by like one specific state?
The one between Hathon and Mythosia that goes along the Galadrim coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that area basically has ships from Mythosia, Hathon, and Al-Sirah that attempt to prevent piracy, but it is the highest piracy area. Well, yeah, it's the highest piracy area in the world, the second highest being the journey from the city-state to the colonies.
We're a
Oh,
bit
so these are
beyond
colonies,
conducting
right?
piracy there.
Yeah.
And now, is that it's the highest piracy area because it's the area least patrolled?
No, it's pretty heavily patrolled. It's just that Galadrim is fucked, so tons of fishermen in Galadrim will just like attach a ballista to their little fishing boat and then go be a pirate. So there's like lots of local piracy. Also, again, Hathon, Mythosia, and Al-Sirah all send privateers to that region to fuck ships up. So it's just like hell. It's just very dangerous.
Where is the least patrolled length of this patrol route, other than, that we are
Probably
now?
in here, like in the Bay of Galadrim. But most ships don't go directly in there. They
Ships
stay
tend
like.
to not go in there.
I mean, sometimes they do. If they want to stick only inside of coast until the hammers fall, they will follow that internal bay. But most will take the leap from Yechtenberg to Linthal and just skip that because it's very
I would
dangerous.
imagine
So, I think
it's
we
a
could do
pretty
this.
safe leap.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of money-making potential then.
So you're not trying to avoid pirates, you're trying to find pirates.
I'm trying to
Be the pirate. Yeah.
Because as you
you're saying
did
that, okay,
point out,
yeah,
we
we need money.
do need
Also-
money.
Okay, then Ethan, wait. Check this route. Hold on. Check this
Okay.
route. We go here. We go here. We go here. We go here. 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 Kill like 8 ships along the way, and then go here.
There is a
I'm not sure about
place,
8 ships, but
there's a second place that is actually very big for piracy, but only because of a very specific reason, which is the Amon Sound. Mythosia, in particular, loves pirating that area. They will send over fleets of like 8 ships, and that's because Al-Sirah is not a country yet. Al-Sirah is still in its little like warlords period where there's each 4 different emirates all vying for control. And the emirate that controls St. Knezer, which is Al-Sahar, has a very small navy. It has like 10 ships. But trade from Al-Sirah to the rest of the world, including the entire gunpowder trade for all of Al-Sirah, which is huge, only goes through that port. So you have a massive amount of ships going through a very narrow area. And so, the Mythosians just send shit over there and capture a bunch of like gunpowder ships and stuff like that.
oh, and that how dangerous is that compared to this area?
It's more dangerous in the sense that it's more likely to be guarded by Al-Sahar ships, but the reward is also much higher because the area is much smaller. So, like, the chance of you actually catching a vessel is much higher.
But then the chance of us running into a patrol vessel is also much higher.
Yeah, correct. So it's basically a high risk, high reward down here in the Amon Sound, and then like lower risk, lower reward in the Gulf of Galadrim.
So it's like we'd need 1 or 2 ships down here to equal what we would get for like 5 or 6 ships up here. Just
The value of the ship's going to be the same. The main difference is just the frequency. So, when you're in the Amon Sound,
I
the
see.
ship goes through it every couple days, and it'll probably be guarded. But if you can just kill both the guard and the ship, then you're going to get a pretty likely payout. Whereas in the Amon Sound, you may spend like a week, 2, 3, maybe just trying to find a ship. Because a lot will
But
do
it'll
different
be-
skins to try to avoid pirates.
It'll probably be unguarded then there.
Probably, unless there's like a Hathanian or Mythosian warship, though more likely Hathanian. But again, Hathon doesn't have the world's biggest navy, so
Do they have cannon on their ship?
they do. Yeah,
Nice.
We have cannon.
you do have cannon.
We have 2, and
Although
only one
I
of them
do not
can
help
fire.
with plotting. I don't support all this piracy.
All right, yeah, I'm just making plans. We'll,
So yeah, Unios,
I
you're
don't
the
support
one
it
looking at
as
these
much.
broadsheets. Is there any other information you wanted to glean?
Are there any like notorious pirate ships that are at large at the moment?
No.
No.
Well,
Alright.
kind of. There is a pirate in Galadrim. It's not so much the ship that's notorious, but its captain. His name is Serion, and he is notorious. as an individual because he was a Athenian privateer before he just sort of went, made his own solo practice. So he's considered a traitor to Hathon and a pirate.
What's the name of that flaming sword guy?
Feanor.
Hey guys.
I do want to ask, like, one of the civil servant pencil pushers around there, like, how I would go about making, like, a personal investment in this dojo, like, if I wanted to find some schmuck who'd...
Yeah, you're already in the Department of Coin office, so you can walk over to one of them. The person will look over and say, "Yes, of course. Are you a citizen?"
No.
"I'm sorry, I can help you then, sir."
There is nothing?
Not for non-imperial citizens.
Very
Get the
well.
surgeon to do it.
No, not a bad idea.
Become
Wait.
a citizen.
Alex, how does imperial citizenship work? Like,
Yeah,
how do you inherently gain it?
Inherently, be born
Yes.
in the right regions. Well, technically, be born to the right parents. Then also, if you do service in the Imperial Legions, Mythosian citizenship is only extended to those living within the core provinces of the Empire. All their Tibrashan holdings just make you a resident.
All right.
Residents
yeah,
are
that's,
also allowed to invest, though.
Do you have to have been born somewhere?
You will have to have been
If-
born somewhere. You will have had to gone through the proper paperwork and proceedings. Your parents both would have needed to be Mythosian citizens. Citizenship is not just like an American citizenship in the modern day. There's a lot of entitlements you get for being a citizen, and especially in the days of the Republic. So there's a pretty high bar for becoming one. That's why military service is like the default path to get it.
Okay, so I was born in Mythos to a
Correct.
Mythosian merchant.
Indeed. When you were like 10 years old, you could have made the argument and tried to become a citizen, but you are now an
Oh,
adult
okay, I
man and
see.
have never
Alright,
done
alright,
any
yep,
paperwork to pursue it.
I see.
Also,
how that
I'll be
works.
right back for like 10 seconds.
Hey guys.
You
If
two-
we want to
you
make
two-
money,
The
we should
DM's
kill
full name
Feanor
and
the
address
Flaming
is-
Sword.
Wait, who is that guy?
That's the
That's
guy
the
who
guy.
killed his parents.
And where is he?
Disintegrated my family.
Where is he?
Oh,
He's in Galadrim.
Ah, okay. So you want us to go onto land in Galadrim?
Yes.
Wait. Also, hold on. How would that get us lots of money?
Because he's a he's a warlord? Like
Ah, there it
one of
is.
3
Alright,
bandit
then.
warlords?
Okay, cool. So
you're
you
just saying
want
we'll
us
take
to
his
like?
money? Because no one will pay us to do that.
But he has a lot of stuff.
All right,
Because he's one
I
of
am back.
Rob him.
Jackson, is there anything else you wanted to do?
I wanted to ask this one schmuck who I'm talking to how how would a Mythosian citizen go about making such an investment?
Well, if you are a citizen, the government offers a number of different ways. Of course, you can put yours within the Great Depository of Coin and receive reliable interest. There are also Mythosian government bonds that are extended to people of wealth and privilege who are not just citizens. As long as you have enough coin to invest, those are always an option. If you are a full citizen, there are lesser forms of investment. You can always invest in one of the legions, and any war bounties that they gain will be split up amongst investors. And then there are, of course, the ship voyages heading westward that can always be invested in.
Excellent.
All so
Thank you.
familiar.
You should invest in his ship so that we can learn about it and then rob it and we'll get all your money back.
I'll have to have the doctor do it if I do, but
Wait, didn't he say that you could do something if you weren't a citizen? He just listed a thing.
I
If
thought
you're
that was
incredibly
just
wealthy,
you're like
you can, yeah.
like a normie citizen.
No. As a non-citizen, you are allowed to invest if you're incredibly wealthy.
Like what
Oh,
kind
is
of
that
wealth?
is that how Riemann invested?
That is how Riemann invested. The minimum investment amount is 500 gold.
Ah, well,
Not even the ship has that much.
Correct.
all right. So he's just gonna go like finish the day at a bar.
Nice.
Gets told he's
Defeated.
broke by a government official and goes to drink.
Real.
The only proper response.
I hate this
and
fucking coin.
okay, we did Vezio, we did Sheba. Keen,
Yes.
what are you doing on your first day of being free?
Did you say that we're not allowed to leave the harbor district?
Correct.
That fucking sucks. So I assume there's
Please.
no library here.
Please don't.
There is a bookshop.
Alright. I will peruse the bookshop.
Yeah.
Any books about demons?
No.
Sorry, hag.
That question.
I'm looking for books about hags.
Yes. Yeah. There's a whole shelf of fairy tales.
Oh. Hmm. Yeah, I'll read it for a little bit.
Yeah, you head into the shop. This is a generic bookstore in the sense that they're not doing arcane stuff. It's mostly like history, children's books, things like that. You're dressed very nicely. Obviously foreign, but still very nicely. So the bookstore owner will not pester you even when you sit down with one of the books and start to read it in the bookstore. This particular one you grabbed has a hag on the cover. It's a tall... She looks very different to Clumretha, but still a hag. Tall, thick,
concerning.
warty limbs, little like birds and things like that living in her hair. And this story tells of a woman who lost her husband, and she went to the hag to try to bring him back. And so the hag, made all these conditionals and reasons why, maybe she shouldn't bring him back, but the woman continued to push and say, no, I want him back. And so after a lengthy ritual in which she had to offer her infant child to the hag, her husband was brought back as a zombie. And that is the end of the story.
Based.
Sounds about what I expected. One of Brutal's a zombie. It's going through my head at the time.
He does smell quite bad.
But nothing of burned sigils on someone's chest.
You can flip to the next story. It's about a hag that looks a lot different to the first one, like the one on the cover. This hag is like short and squat, and she has like green warty skin and wispy strands of white hair, but she masquerades as a beautiful woman, and she lives in a city. And one day a woman comes to her shop and says that she's a very talented singer, but she has terrible anxiety and stage fright, and she'd give anything to just to be able to entertain people. And so the hag took her voice so that she could no longer sing, but cured her anxiety.
Wow.
Goofy rude hag.
You should not be making deals with hags.
Is Kaheen just like studying fairy tales to build a theory, like a board against Rudel?
Yes.
What else am I gonna study? You made a deal with a hag. They're evil.
Hansel and Gretel moment.
Non-ironically true.
Okay, and then I also want to see if they have any book. Actually, does it have like a price tag listed somewhere? This one?
No.
Okay, then I'll put it down, and I want to go find another book.
Sure.
I want to see if I can read about the Nazar Desert. I've only ever heard about it, and I like big deserts.
Yeah, they have 2 books on the Nazar Desert, one of which is called the Gazetteer, and it has a picture on the front of this like handsome Mithosian man with he looks very classically Mithosian, sharp jawline, black hair, short trimmed, and he's standing triumphantly atop the corpse of an Athnoeen man, and there's this very dark-skinned Athnoeen woman with large breasts holding onto his leg.
That's a good one, Jackson.
One of those things doesn't seem very realistic for a skinny species that's 7 feet tall.
Yeah, so that's one of them, and then the second book has only lettering on the cover, and it's written in Mythos.
Oh, and I don't read that.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I don't know that language. That sucks.
So your one option is large-breasted adventuring book.
Nah, I'm not gonna read that one.
Or are you sure?
It upsets me.
It's right up Bean's alley.
So I guess I'll leave the bookstore. I'll thank the owner.
Yeah.
Well, I was expecting that to take a lot more time. I thought there'd be a library.
Yeah, that would be reasonable, and in fact there is one in the city, so you want to go break quarantine?
No. I don't want to get plague. Let's see. That can't have taken too long, right? I read a book for an hour.
40 minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, as you're thinking,
Okay.
you do smell something. You smell coriander and cumin and a bunch of other
Ooh.
seasonings that are used traditionally in Alceranian cooking.
Yeah, I'll go check that out. Some market or something.
Yeah. Yeah, along one of these streets, there's a very narrow little shop that's sort of like nestled in between two other buildings. And the sign for the shop is just, it's a word in Ancient Apep that says,
So I was actually wrong. I actually don't. I was checking my sheet. I read Neftarin and Neo.
okay, then you just see a symbol, a glyph on the sign that looks kind of like a soup bowl.
Cool. I will enter.
Yeah, the shop is very small. It's like a little like counter that only has 4 seats. The rest of it is dedicated to cooking area. There's an older man in his like 60s with sort of dark tan skin. He's dressed more like a Mythosian though, sitting at one of the chairs. And then behind the counter, there is a man with a sort of wiry white mustache, and he has like flowing robes around him. And the menu is written in Neo-Apep. And there are only 4 things on the menu: Mansaf, which is a type of lamb dish; baklava, which is a Neftarin sort of caravan cakes, basically; liban, which is a very pungent type of like kind of smelly wine; and pushi, which is rice wine.
I will get the Neftarin dish. I'll order it in Neo-Apep.
Yeah, the owner will, as you sit down, he'll look at you and smile and say, in Neo-Apep, "Wow, it's been a very long time since I've seen a woman from the deserts."
Yes, it's very far from home, aren't we?
Yes. Baklava, you said. Yes, of course, I can get those ready. And you notice that he has this faint sort of, it's odd to say, but like the rims of his eyes have this faint blueness to them. And you notice that behind the counter, there's this pipe with these sort of long little black fibers, which you recognize as ilaka. It's a pretty unique drug that really is only done by Neftarins. You can't imagine how much it would have cost them to import fibers from the plant.
Wow. Okay. What are the symptoms of that drug? Is it like a?
It makes you wired with energy and think you're invincible.
Upper, nice.
Based.
I'm gonna mix it with a down.
Sorry.
Hey, I want to ask him. So, how long have you been in Mythos?
Since I was a very young man, I spent only 20 years in the desert, so I have been out here for, 30 now.
Wow. And the boy?
He glances over at the other, person within the area and says, "He doesn't like to talk much, but he came in here on a ship a couple of weeks ago.
Huh. And
I
that's
think
all you
he's
know?
from Al-Sahar."
What brought you out here?
Oh, I was captured by one of those Mythosian fleets going west, but got my freedom. These Mythosians allow you to work your way to freedom, and by the time I had done, I found myself speaking Mythos perhaps better than I speak my home tongue. Have a wife, have a job. It seemed like a waste to return home after all that time.
I can understand that.
And I assume you come in
Would
with
you-
one of the ships?
Yes. Actually, coming from the city-state.
That's about as far from home as you could ever even get.
True. But I hope to return soon. We're moving west.
The man sort of thinks for a moment as he plates your baklava and pours out, sort of the clear rice wine. He says, "All right, well, you're clearly not Alceranian. You're far too cordial to be from there. So that either means Water Confederation or the desert. And that's a Juba cloak, so you must be Neftarin then."
Correct. Good eye.
"How did you find yourself at sea then? Last I'd heard, there are no deserts in the sands." There's oceans in the sands.
My my caravan was raided. My entire clan died. And I was the navigator. That was the one skill I had. It's don't know. I guess it's been some time since you've been in the desert, but it's not so easy to join a new caravan, but it is pretty easy to join a privateering ship. So I took my skills as a navigator to the waters.
The man nods. I think the thing that I miss about it most is, I think, the language. You know, these Mythosians, my name is Jafar. These Mythosians just say Zafa. They think it's easier to pronounce. I haven't heard someone properly say my name. Yeah, probably years.
Well, it's nice to meet you, Jafar.
Thank you.
From afar.
And, Hill?
My name is Aisha.
He nods and says, a beautiful name. A beautiful name of the desert.
Thank you.
And he'll go to serve the other person seated at the counter.
Yeah, is that some like Mythosian pleb that walks in?
No. It's the guy from Al Sahar, another person of the desert, as it were. You don't get the sense that this guy serves many Mythosians. They don't seem very exploratory to you.
Wait, sorry. So did you say there was another guy working here?
No. There are two people. There's one person sitting at the bar. There's another person working behind the counter. The person sitting at the bar has not said a single word to you. He's just been very quiet, focused on his stuff.
Okay. Then I want to try and talk to him.
Well, he is looking at his plate of Mansaf, slowly picking at it.
Yeah, I'll say to him, and I'll be talking to Neopep still, and I'll say, so how long have you been in Mythos?
He looks over at you and says, Kalak, Dekoman, Tinuyal. And it sounds a lot to you like Ancient Apep.
He speaks ancient. I should have learned that. I thought that like wasn't commonly spoken in Al Sara until...
It is not commonly spoken, no.
Oh.
Oh, so he's just a weird person.
Tirisia. Are you, from the Water Confederation?
In what language?
That'll be common.
He says in common. No, I'm from St. Khanezr.
Oh. I've been there.
The city burns.
Well, what do you mean?
I have said it clearly, the city is burning. The Ascendant Emperor's armies have marched. Our Sorcerer King is killed. Our temples pillaged. And the city burns.
Did you flee here?
The first ship that would take me.
Why here?
Where else? I would go to Hathan, where they view us as foreign spies. I would go to Galadrim, where there is just warlords attempting to pick at the carcass of any of those who flee their homeland. The only place that would be safe is here.
I get that. My home was also destroyed, and I ran here as well.
You Neftarans do not have a proper home. It's not the same for you.
Damn. Well, that's not very polite.
He looks at you.
My home was my people. And they are gone.
He just grumbles and returns to his food.
Okay, well that guy fucking sucks. I'm gonna ask the bartender. How did you Well, Alex, you said the door goes like a root, right?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
it's a root that you make these long sort of like fibers of it, and then you smoke the fibers.
Yeah. How did you get that root from the desert from so far away?
It's an interesting story, actually. And he says this in Neopep. A couple of years ago, There was this Athenian ship that docked in the harbor, and I don't remember what their infraction was, but their ship was impounded by the Department of whatever. And I learned that they actually had a smuggler on board, one of your people, an Eftaran, and he had brought a number of goods from his home that he was planning to sell in the farthest reaches of the world at a massive upcharge. And so I paid for his bail in exchange for him giving me a decent haul of his cargo. You know, most of these things, and he points at the fibers, and then he sort of pulls open a counter, and you see several additional jars of Liban, which are also, you know, a type of Neftaran wine. He says, most of this stuff I got in that one haul, and I've been using it for years.
Wow.
It was the best deal I've ever made.
Would you be open to selling a use?
I suppose I'd be willing. Have you done it before? It can be a bit intense for first-timers.
I would think I have, if I'm Neftaran.
I would imagine not. It's one of those things where, you know, people use it to stay awake for very long periods, but it's not, like, recreational, really, and it's certainly not common.
Okay, wait, it's just not recreationally used?
No, it's used for, like, the purposes of staying awake for long periods. It's like yeah.
Okay.
What's that?
Maybe that would be weird for me to do it then.
Give some to Adrian.
Based. Force him to stay
Buy
awake for
some
48
for-
hours and see
Why
shadows.
would
You
you-
need to, I don't
Why
know.
would you think I would want that?
With the rate that we're going at, Kane, you may need to just stay up for like days and days.
Yeah, actually,
Considering you get woken up every night, anyways.
Yeah, you are the
Or every
night.
day.
You're the night officer.
Alright, I'll tell him, personally, no, but, the navigator that I trained under did, and, many of our caravan guards as well. I'm familiar.
Well then, I mean, as long as I have warned you in good conscience, I'd be willing to sell some. I warned you though, since I know I cannot get more for probably the rest of my life. It is rather expensive.
Name your price.
2 Electrum.
2 Electrum.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'm gonna check my coin purse and realize that I only have gold in it.
Yeah. He will also
And,
realize you only have gold in it.
Yeah. And he just looks in there.
Yep.
Fog. I must go to the money changer, but if I come back tomorrow, is the deal still good?
No need to go to the money changer. I could sell you 5 doses for a gold.
Ah. Even better.
That is
I knew you would have. I should have known you would say that.
Well, I'm a businessman in my heart.
A good rate, you'd be losing 30%.
Yeah, but he doesn't
Hey,
want 5.
you know what?
He
I'll do
only
it.
wanted
I'll do it.
one.
I'll flip him a gold and I'll buy 5 doses of this drug.
Okay, yeah, he'll hand you about 20 or 30 of these really long strands of this pitch black root, and he'll begin to hand over the pipe and then look at it and say, "Perhaps you have your own already."
A pipe? I don't, but I can go get one.
No, it is all right. It's just made with my own hands, you know. But I can make more. And I'll hand over the long pipe. It's made of a
so I'll put
strange sort of like
hand-made pipe?
dark gray
Is he letting
wood.
me keep it?
Yeah, he's letting you keep it.
Cool.
You
And
did
then,
just give
how
him
much-
$1,000, so.
yeah.
Yeah. And then what do I put down on my sheet for? what's the
5
name
doses
of
of Elaca fiber.
it? ELLACA?
Yeah, sure.
You say sure like you don't know the right.
I just put the spelling in Chaz, and I don't know what he said, so
Oh,
I'm sure he'll figure it out.
I was close. I did 2 L's instead of 2 C's.
Yeah, you knew there was going to be some fucked up non-phonetic spelling.
Yeah.
Damn you, Alex.
Well, I don't know. Alex is, for the most part, like more phonetic than any other language I've seen. So
One day I'm just going to drop a name like Mixus
Isn't-
Pitalik and make you try to spell it properly. Drop some,
Isn't
like, super
literally-
villains.
Like almost every language in the world phonetic except
Well,
English.
No.
No.
No. Definitely. Actually, no on like it's 30 different counts, but that's okay.
Bro has not heard of Chinese.
I had to think about that for a
literature
second.
skills.
So why are we the only ones with like spelling bees then?
Every other what? Okay, never
What?
mind. We're not doing this tangent. Anyways, Ben, you buy some. It's insane.
Ethan went to like middle school Spanish class and thought it was the whole world.
Okay, so you buy some Malacca fibers, you buy a nice meal, which will cost you 1 silver, but since you're so kind, he will, roll it into the 1 gold, which I think, Kane's starting to get the vibe. She probably paid way more for this stuff than she had to, but, because he's, like, giving you a bunch of free shit, but, hey, whatever.
I know I could have bought it in the desert, but,
yeah.
I figure that being able to stay awake as we cross the Harris Fall is probably going to be useful.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if you stick around after eating, he'll be happy to tell you tales. I mean, most of them are probably not true, but...
I'll just hang out here for a while. This seems better than the
he'll
rest
tell
of
you a
these fucking
story
weekends.
about, from his youth, and he says that, a young man in his village went to go deal with a genie, and the genie said that he could get 3 wishes, but that each one of the wishes would have a nasty consequence. And so the man first asked for immense wealth, and everyone else in his city became poor. But the man didn't mind that too much because, he's a bit selfish. And then he asked for the most beautiful wife in the world, and every woman in the city became ugly, incredibly ugly, except for one woman who was, like, still very plain beforehand, but now, of the ugly women, she was the most beautiful. And then the man asked to live forever, and then he was turned into sort of goo, and while he was still sentient, he had no ability to exercise his great wealth or power.
Reference to I have no mouth and I must scream.
I'll kind of like laugh, and then I'll tell him a kind of hyped up version of a story of a time that we fought off like a goblin horde.
Yeah, Rugkin warband. Yeah, like 20 Ruggins turns to like 60 Rugkins, and their like goblin war chief turns into a ogre war chief. There's a lot of little elements that you can spice up to make it sound very heroic. And he'll listen along, and the other man that was sitting here will leave, and so it's just you and Jafar. And as you're talking, he will smoke the Alaka fiber, and you smell a smell that you haven't smelled that since you were in the caravans. It's this sort of like thick, pungent, bluish shaded smoke, and his eyes go bloodshot almost immediately, and that like faint blue rimming around his eyes seems to like flare up. So he's bloodshot eyes with this like blue rim around the skin.
Dude, it's smelling salts.
Yeah, the smelling salts give you blue rims around your eyes.
What's
Magic
that free
smelling
meth
salts.
that we used in World War II? It's like Percotin or something like that.
There were a bunch
Meth.
of like government forms of meth, yeah.
Smoking on that government meth.
Yeah, the Germans had like an official government meth that they would distribute to people.
Smoking that all Syrah pack.
Your hood watches for Shep now. Okay, so yeah, you continue to talk with the shopkeeper, and we're gonna cut back to Svensson. Your back hurts, your ears hurt, you have a headache. It is 6 in the evening, and the last of the bureaucrats leaves your office, and you step out onto your deck, and you smell the nice salt air, and literally no one is on the ship. Except for Rudel, who's sketching things in his book about, no, he's drinking with Bezia, never mind, there literally is no one on the ship.
What about that one dude that was quarantined?
There is not a quarantine member of your ship, or you guys would be in. We'd be having. This would all be very different. No one on your ship is sick.
My bad.
Yeah.
I need a drink.
Very real.
All right, I'll go to one of the nicer bars, where
Yeah, instead of just going to the
captains, they hang
first
out.
bar that you see along the harbor's edge, like most of the members of your crew, you go a bit deeper and you can find a part inn, part bar that has a pretty nice looking place. In fact, it's so nice you don't see a single member of the Defiance crew there.
Oh, let's go! That was the goal.
Yeah, you head inside and basically are instantly dropping like an electrum on just a mixed drink alongside a place like to sit. But yeah,
Fortunately, I have those.
the only other people the people all in here are like ship masters or owners that are just kind of stuck here because they can't collect additional cargo. So they're just like in the city waiting.
Waiting
So
for
they're
what?
almost. So yeah, basically like they're merchant people who sold off all their cargo, but there's no additional cargo to collect because this city is like fully locked down. So they're just here without any cargo to sell, and they're rich Mythosians.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. In fact, one of
Okay,
them
yeah.
looks a little bit familiar to you. Back when you were a young man, or a young boy, in the colonies, your mom would always describe what your father looked like. She described him as like this kind of tall Mythosian man, pretty handsome, shoulder-length hair, and he had this little purple sash to denote his status. And like half the people in this bar look like that.
Okay, alright, so yeah, they all just look like generic Mythosian merchants. Because that's
Yeah,
exactly what
kind
my
of.
dad was.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, okay then. Alright, well, I'll strike up conversation with one.
Yeah, one of them is not speaking to any other business partners. He's sort of sitting at a table. He has a napkin in front of him, and you see a bunch of numbers on it. And you can sit down, and he'll sort of evaluate you for a couple of moments. Do you have fine clothes or common clothes?
I have common clothes on right now. I haven't bothered to.
Yeah, he looks
buy
at your
fine
messy,
clothes.
tangled hair. You haven't gone to like a bathhouse since you got to the city, so you smell like ocean. And he'll say, "So you're a new arrival."
What language is he speaking in?
Common.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll in Mythosian I'll go after giving him an odd look for a moment. Yeah, we just got in today.
You speak Mythos.
Well, I'm in Mythosia, aren't I?
I suppose. I
Pretty
misjudged
pretty
you. I
beneficial
thought you
to
were one of
learn
those
language.
rabble privateers.
Well, that's not exactly wrong, but I bothered to learn the language, and I was born in Mythos after all, so...
Well, you're better than most of your compatriots, better than most people of the Empire. And before I came here, I was in Nausea selling cargo, and half the people in that city, an imperial city, don't even speak Mythos. They speak that pig's tongue Tabrashan.
I do not speak that one. Where is that city?
Nauseus is an imperial city on the Tabrashan plains. Here.
Ah, oh, way up there. Oh, and how'd you find yourself down here?
Well, I'm still in the Empire, and I thought my goods would sell better here. I didn't know that apparently a once-in-century plague and a war would be starting.
Suppose that's sort of hard to predict.
I would say so.
Hmm.
And he sort of is
What have
like
you been
tapping
trading so
his
far?
he's tapping his ink pen on this napkin with the numbers on it, and he glances over and says, "Oh, commodities, things like that, expensive goods, finer things in life."
Ah, I see. Can't find any to buy now?
No, it's all locked up near the governor's palace. If I could just get through that barricade for one day, my ship could get all loaded up, but the last man who attempted to smuggle things down to the docks from other part of the city was hung.
Did they catch him immediately, or did he get a few good trips in?
No, the ship got half full, but that's what tipped the Legionnaires off.
Ah, I see. No other ships are leaving?
Well, not those that are engaged in merchanting. There's an entire squadron of the Mythosian Navy stationed here. A couple of weeks ago, there was even the flagship.
What's the flagship?
Oh, the St. Harmonious. It's one of those monsters of the sea, 3 decks filled with guns and marines.
Is the Vestius one of those?
Yeah, same class of ship.
Oh, we ran into one of those on the way in. Border, the St. Vestius.
To be
Quite an
expected.
impressive ship.
No, they're not impressive. They're eyesores and a waste of money. You give me a single powerful wizard, well, not even a powerful one, and that ship's sunk to the bottom of the ocean. It's all flash, no sizzle.
Isn't it easier to make those ships than it is to get wizards?
Not exactly. I'm just saying, if we have to actually fight some naval engagement, I'd take 30 small little skiffs with a couple of muskets and a little cannon on it than I would any of those monsters.
Really?
I was a
So you
Navy
could
man
sink-
myself. We fought the Delian League. couple of naval engagements north of Athelloran, and it was always their big ships that got slowed down, bogged down, pounded with cannons, blown up by fireballs. It's not a place I'd want to be on any battlefield.
Huh. Interesting.
You're a captain, right?
Yeah.
Imagine your ship was flanked by 10 small little vessels, 8 men per ship, but each one is armed with a single cannon. Sure, you could turn your vessel, try to fire on them, but turning is slow. These vessels could encircle you like a pack of wolves, firing cannons at you, picking off members of your crew with muskets. That's the real way warfare should go.
Could you not theoretically make a ship big enough that it would just be relatively impervious to that?
Perhaps you could, but until, someone learns how to add iron to a ship without the whole thing sinking, I doubt we'll have to worry about that problem. I've seen cannonballs break through almost any ship, and I doubt those galleasses are immune to that.
What about Deadwood? I've heard it's uniquely strong, isn't it?
I've heard that too, but I ain't seen it, so hard to believe.
Is that what they're making the new ships out of?
So that's what they say. I don't know how they get enough wood to do it, especially considering what's happening along the frontier.
Why? What's happening?
There's a war.
Oh,
the
that
undead
frontier.
legions march forth. The southern legions are barely holding them back.
Huh?
This city was under siege less than a month ago. Has this not reached wherever Podunk town you came from?
The city-state doesn't really care that much.
The city-state. Ugh.
Well,
Yeah.
why do you think we're leaving?
Fair enough. I'd
Let's
recommend
plan on
finding
ever
yourself
returning.
greener pastures, somewhere in the west. Not Galadrim either, even they have the plague. It's a nasty one, too.
Oh, we're heading west. Plan on going up to Bertelia.
I'd say go even further, go to Cavarant if you're really trying to avoid it.
What is this? The plague hadn't reached the city-state when we were there. We've heard it has now, but is it really all that bad? How can the clerics not just wipe it away?
It's immune to magic.
Huh?
It's immune to magic.
Oh,
That's what I've heard anyways. Those blocks that are burned in the middle of the city, they found one tenement house that had the plague. They're so scared of it now, it would just burn. Burn everything so that there's no chance of it spreading. The uninfected, anyone. Because if it breaks out, clerics and paladins can't do anything. Doctors are the most helpful, but it's not as if they can cure the plague. They can just make your death a bit more pleasant.
oh. Has it reached the west yet?
I've heard it's in Galadrim. Some even say it's reached West Exeter, in which case even Cavarant will be doomed.
Have to keep an eye out for that.
If any of your men get sick, I say you shoot him in the head and throw him overboard. It'd be a kindness.
What does it do?
I've never seen anyone die of it, but those doctors that inspect the ships in the harbor, when the doctor came aboard, I asked him what it was like, and he said people sweated so much that they began to look almost like mummies, and then these buboes would appear on their body, little black nodules in your armpits, and between your legs, anywhere that is moist and away from the light. And then you'd start bleeding out of your eyes. Your body would simply start to liquefy until you die.
Sounds real nasty.
Agreed.
Do they know how it spreads?
He shrugs. Just like everything else, I suppose. Miasma, or whatever those surgeons are saying now.
Well, we'll have to keep an eye out for that then.
He gives a nod.
Gross.
So, for everyone here, your evenings will begin to sort of drag to a close. and it's going to cost you all a bit of money. Rudol paid for himself and Vezio. Shaiban, as you are doing some drinking, what is your lowest form of currency? It's an electrum, right?
Electrum, yes.
1 electrum is fine. Unios, you are also drinking? Question mark?
Yes.
Okay, and that'll probably cost you an electrum as well.
I only have gold.
Well, that's
Hey,
unfortunate.
to the money changer.
Do you want to
How
pay for
much-
a bunch of other people drinking? You can pay for, like 3 other people.
No.
Okay. Well, money changer it is.
Yeah.
All right. Add 7 electrum at the cost of 1 gold. Kaheen's the cheapest knight. She already spent what she needs to. So it doesn't cost her anything else. And Adrian, you'll spend about a gold. At this
Okie
class
dokie. Well,
establishment.
No
don't
way,
even
mine
care.
was-
Fuck the money
I
changer.
think it was the cheap. Oh, sorry. I mean the cheapest in the sense that there's no additional cost, unlike for the rest of the people. Yeah. As it gets very late, some of you stumble back to the ship. Other of you find very comfortable alleyways. Maybe one of you decides to, go lounge at one of the many halfway houses where you basically just have like 2 very ropes that have been strung tight, and you just sort of lean against the rope and fall asleep. It's very uncomfortable, but it's cheap. Costs a single
You
pen.
have 2 very ropes.
Yeah, very taut ropes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was an actual thing.
Indeed it was. However, Rudel. It's
Yeah.
late. It's like 11:30. 11 squirty, as they say. And Vezio has already since returned to the Defiance with his...
Why do they say that?
I don't know.
Who's they? Who's
You know,
the they?
They.
What is the they?
Anyways, so it's pretty late. And Vezio and his marines have already gone to bed. You're sitting on the top deck of the Defiance near the forecastle, just sort of sitting next to that cannon, envisioning what the final scheme of infusion will look like. And you hear a voice. Well, sorry, actually, no, you don't hear a voice in your head. Your chest starts to burn. Agony sort of spreads along from the wound. You feel this unstoppable urge to expose your chest to the air just to try to have it cool down somewhat. And you see that your brand is glowing hot, like white hot. And then you hear a voice in your head. My dear little puppet, I hope your journey to Mythosha suited you well. I felt our bond fray, and saw that little scuffle with pirates. Awful business. Wouldn't want the terms of our contracts to be called upon too soon. I'll have some work for you to do in the city. Keep your ears open, little one.
As you wish, my lord.
Is that what you say?
No, I just
Oakley dokley.
yeah, something along those lines. Just, I will.
Okay. Slowly, your brand begins to cool down, and you pull your shirt back on. And when Shaiban, drunkenly alongside one of the other carpenters, stumbles along the gangplank over the ship, almost falls into the water, but catches himself, you have your shirt fully back on your chest.
Oh.
So, evening has come. You guys can get some sleep. The next day, there's a couple ways we can do this. We can do what you guys want to do over the course of the whole long rest and just go person by person, or we can do it chronologically. I think the only reason to do one or the other is if any of you guys have time-sensitive things that you want to do earlier in the long rest.
I do have something I'd like to get done on day 1.
Sure.
Like selling something that might.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to try and get to Unios and the captain because I want to talk about selling shit that we have on the ship.
All right. Well, early in the morning, the next day, at like 7 a.m.,
Yeah.
the 3 of you will groggily reunite, because there's no need for a night watch when you're in port. And the 3 of you will groggily reunite in the captain's quarters. Crab is here, bright and early in the morning, sketching away at a small little notebook while his human cat sits next to him. But he'll just sort of mind his own business while the 3 of you have your meeting.
Fuck that cat, man.
Alright. Look. Obviously, there's a bunch of stuff we need to get done. I imagine we need food and supplies and things of that nature.
Yes.
Alright. How's our money?
Unios, how many days of food do we have?
We have about 23 days.
23 days. All right, and Alex,
Bean.
did you say that Ravinium to Galadrim is a very common route, or do you normally go to Flamium?
Ravinium to Galadrim is the most common route. Flamium is almost never stopped at. It has no facilities to support ships of your size.
Oh, great. Okay, so that's a 300-ish mile journey just across the Hammersfall,
Correct.
and then like another 50 to get to the next port. Although, frankly, I don't think the ports. Do ports in Galadrim like sell you things, or are they just like schizos and pirates?
Depends which port.
Okay. That's not
I know it's
inspiring.
not helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like some cities like Blue Haven are literally a giant ruin. There is both no way to dock. Secondly, it is only filled with schizos and pirates. Some people say there's even demons inhabiting those ruins. And then other cities like Amon are basically functioning cities, but they have an incredibly corrupt leadership that'll just squeeze you for every single penny your ship has.
Okay, so we should probably get enough money to get to like Redberg then, or enough food.
Yeah, or like Yektenberg or something, Havosk, one of the Athenian cities.
Okay, can those ones like support a ship?
But yeah, basically any Athenian city that's on the map could support a ship of your size.
Okay, so then, okay, I want to get enough. Ethan, I know that you want to do pirating, but I want to try and make sure that we have at least enough food that if we needed to speed run, we could make it to Yektenberg.
All right.
So that's 310.
Well, we're gonna
And
need
that's-
we're gonna need more food anyway because we plan on spending a bunch of our time mucking around pirating.
450, 450. On a good day, we move like 100 miles a day, right?
Yeah.
So, assuming that the Hammers falls just as fast, which it probably isn't, but so best case scenario, about 100 miles a day, going, the same speeds that we were. We have good conditions every day. This could be as short as like a 5-day journey, and we have 23 days. So honestly, I think that 23 days might be solid.
Okay.
It just sounds like a lot of food. I don't know, Jackson. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it would be fine unless we want to be like ultra prepared. We also only have 19 days of grog, but it'll probably rain at some point.
The Hammers Fall is known for
we
its
can also
storms,
go
and
to-
storms will do a lot to refill your water.
Cool. Anyway, how's the money situation? Oh,
I think Bean died.
Are you asking that
oh.
in character or out of character?
that's in
Yo.
character.
Yo.
Yeah, this
We
would
have,
all be in character.
Kane
We have,
says
um,
yo and opens up the ledger.
We have 200 gold.
Dude, really?
It is not as good as it sounds. We are hemorrhaging money.
They are? Really?
Well, we
But
gave an
did we
advance to
start-
the crew members.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
very
we-
normal.
What do we start with? Like 300 gold or something?
Well, starting value, that's post, like, before you purchased all the supplies and shit, you guys had like 500 gold. But, purchasing all the food and all the water and all the ship supplies and, all the special contracts signed with the
Astrolabe
members of
and-
the ship and the astrolabe and all that stuff, that burned
Yeah.
you down to, like, I think 300 something. No, it must have been 200 something. And now you're here.
Yeah, and there was also all that money that we spent on
Bribes.
flags.
Oh, and flags, yeah.
Yeah. So, we certainly need to earn some money. We are in the hole currently.
Yeah, that's I have a couple ideas for that once we cross the Hammers Fall. There's opportunities aplenty over there. Well, there's two large options, but we can assess that once we get there.
And, you'll have to remind me, do we get a reward from Lord Rothschild?
He doesn't kill us, I think.
That is it?
Right, Alex? Is that the reward?
I believe you should check your notes.
I
That's
Oh,
all right.
we
Then I
don't
guess
know.
you know what you know.
Well,
We straight up
Nuts.
don't know if we get money for this.
I mean,
That's
he is right about the not getting murdered thing. That is definitely one of the one of the upsides to doing
well,
this.
How's this?
Well, yeah, but I was never gonna get murdered.
That
I
is
don't
true,
think.
but now you are because you're a part of the Defiance
You
crew, so
are.
congratulations.
Yeah, you are
Oh.
going to get murdered now.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Your
Yeah, I don't know
reward
why-
is still you don't get murdered.
I'm so appalled. Like what did Kaheen have to do to like be like, yeah, this is a great decision?
Because she didn't have a lot of options, bro. She's
Oh,
now Serenian. Or
and-
Natari.
Oh, I forgot
Uh,
about that part.
It's also hilarious. You think I told her about that?
Also true.
Yeah.
Based.
That's funny. Did he pay us the last time we did something for him?
Last time you failed to do it for like literally like 6 months, so he did not pay you, and he killed your captain.
Please though.
All right, yeah. Our
Dude,
punishment,
please don't
our
suck.
reward is we don't get killed. That's
All right.
that's the reward as far as I'm
Oh.
tracking.
Oh no.
Better than getting killed.
Very true. Although, if I don't solve the problem, then we might just get killed by the crew anyway.
Seems like a very high-risk mission I brought myself on.
Kaheen is having a whole mental breakdown over there.
Yeah, Crab is
Like,
like
Kaheen
looking
is-
up from. Yeah, Crab's like human cat is like snuggling Kaheen while she has a mental breakdown.
Sweet.
Uh,
Okay. Well,
you back?
yes, I
Alright.
think in a bad case with storm and poor conditions, I still think that we can cross the Hammer's Fall with 23 rations, and should be able to make it.
Yeah, we can.
And we should not be there for 3 weeks. So I see it feasible that we don't need to buy food.
Well, one of the options for making money is spending a long time, and I mean weeks, in what's that bay called, Alex? The right here.
Yeah,
this one?
I think the you would probably just call it the Galadriel Bay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's
Uh,
another
but
name.
also,
you can call
that's-
that.
That's
Yeah,
one where
three-
Alex said that we don't need to spend as much time. I thought because
No,
they're going to
that
be
was,
gone.
No,
Amon
no, that's
Sound.
the other one.
Oh,
That's the
okay, my
other
bad.
one. One of the options is spending a few weeks there, conducting business.
Guys, we could sleep at my house.
At which point we should
Me
take
and
enough
100
food
death
with us.
slaves roll up.
To the burned down shack that is the Strawheim household.
Oh no!
Dad, let me in. I brought friends for a sleepover.
No.
Okay. Well. So you want to buy food to prepare for that? Is there no way that we could just get cargo that needs to go somewhere and have that be paid?
Not from here.
Well, because you probably have to go to the Ministry of Cargo or something.
No, you have to go to other parts of the city, which is a no-no at the moment.
Ah, they're not already in the harbor district.
No. I believe the last person to try and do it got his ship half loaded up, and then he was home.
Ah. Well. Then I suppose we're screwed. So
Well, there is another option.
piracy.
Well, that was the first option.
Oh, my mistake. What's this option?
Oh, sorry. Both options are piracy. It's just where
Oh,
and for how long.
what is the other option?
Are these just like the Straits of Al Sarah, Alex? Or-
The Amon Sound is what it's called.
All right. Amon Sound down near Saint Knezer? Is that
Yeah.
what that city is called?
Indeed.
Down near Saint Knezer.
Oh,
A lot of cargo passes through that area, and because it's so, it's a strait. We're almost guaranteed to find a ship there
yes.
quickly as
I
well.
was speaking to a young man last night. That was actually from Saint Knezer.
What did he have to say about it?
The city is burning. The Ascendant Emperor Al Sarah has killed their king and torched the entire city.
So it's unlikely any trade is going to be coming out of it anytime soon.
Or lots of fleeing ships. It's hard to say.
I'd say the ships have either already fled or are not going to flee.
Yes,
If you met someone here, they probably already fled.
yes, and I think he was supposed to have been here a few weeks already. So yes, I think it would be Deadwater.
It is
Well-
worth noting, Captain. I was speaking to one of their ministries of whatever, and there is a plague notice in Galadrim, and apparently we are not supposed to fly Mythos flags in near El Sarah for another violent reasons.
Well, I thought we
Alright.
were supposed to.
Or were we?
You know, you may
Eric?
want to review the broadsheets. Who's to say? It's been a whole day, and you drank a lot last night.
What he said it was because of the La Escatir Trading Company, right?
That wasn't Hassan.
All right.
Oh,
Well,
I thought that's what you were referencing. Where did you say we don't want to fly Mythos
El
flags?
Sarah.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, yeah, you don't. want
okay. Well, I don't think we're going to go down that way anyway. Probably
Is
just
that not
stick
where
to the-
this little strait is?
It is.
Yes, but I don't think we're going. I think we're going to stick with the Bay of Galadrim, as that area probably doesn't have much. The straits probably don't have a lot of trade in them at the moment, which is a damn shame. Would have liked to get my hands on gunpowder ship.
All right, can we talk buying
Um,
and selling then?
Yes. So I would.
I would like to sell the cannons.
No. Yeah, I'm gonna go with
They're
no.
worth more
on that
money
one.
than anything else we've ever gotten.
And if we come to the end of this voyage and the crew is going to kill us if we don't give them money, we can have a different conversation. But for now, the answer is no.
What if they get stolen by pirates?
Bigger problems.
I
They'd
suppose
steal
they would
the
steal
money
our
as
coin
well.
Yes,
They would.
yes.
Yes, yeah.
All right.
We have these barrels of fine ale and red wine.
You guys
Oh,
also have
no.
a bunch of bags of fire moss.
True.
Ah,
drug dealers.
fire moss. Yes. Where is the more valuable parts of it for selling fire moss?
How would you know?
Yeah.
Where is fire moss made?
Fire moss can be grown in almost any climate in the world, other than Bertelia. Bertelia is a dog shit place to do it, but almost anywhere else works.
So then it would stand to reason that Bertelia is the best place to sell this,
You
as
can
the
interpret that
supply
if you
would
want.
be,
Yeah.
as the supply would be the lowest,
True.
and I imagine demand would be almost the exact same as everywhere else.
You should ask the scummiest person on the ship. That used to be Samuel Ash, but he's dead.
Also,
Yeah,
Ustrad
true.
would know, but Ustrad is also dead.
Yeah, you should have kept
Samuel Ash
alive
is
so
also
you could
probably
know.
not
Ustrad
dead.
is actually dead.
Yeah.
We could ask the
I mean-
Ministry of Illegal Activities.
True. Actually,
Yeah, wait. Can I go to the Ministry of dope ass drugs?
I feel like a lot of these are jokes, but I feel like Alex are writing a couple down.
No, I
Just
already
making
know
my-
all the
No,
government
no,
ministries of
no
Mendoza.
shot. No, there's
Ethan has
as fun as that
encountered
would
the
be.
beauty of the Mythosian bureaucracy in another campaign. It's a beautiful.
Yeah, but it's a
system,
lot
okay?
more fun when you're working within it as
Yeah, and
part
not
of it,
having to
rather
deal
than
with
being
it,
on
yeah.
the outside of it.
Yeah, that's true.
What about the ballista, as we are not using that anymore?
Now that we can definitely sell. We get an amount of money for it.
Alex, what does a ballista sell for?
It would be a bespoke sale. There's no like default price for ballistas. You'd have to find a specific buyer, and then you would negotiate price from there.
Does the Department of War buy them, or is this a private?
You're
seller
not sure.
thing?
You never worked in Mythosia before for selling things. You pillaged things, but not sold things.
That's true. Okay, well, yeah, I suppose we could ask the Department of War if they're buying, and if not, I'm sure we can find a private buyer. That would have to be something we'd get started on today.
Yes, a private buyer. Well, I find a private buyer maybe a better option. We can still talk with the Ministry of War, but I figure that they'll tell us that we need to get it appraised by somebody in the Ministry of Appraising, and then
Yes,
Um,
yes. The great empire has lots of bureaucracy. Anyway, anything else?
We have the
Um,
stone coffin,
Your
its
aqualization is
vampire clothes, and its dagger.
yes. Should we report the vampire?
I think not. I think we
think not
dealt
as
with
well.
it. I think we dealt with it accordingly, and we can just move on with it. Now, it may be the coffin could be an oddity we could sell.
Guys, we could also just have Rudel identify it because he knows identify, and we could buy a pearl now.
For 1,000, for like 100 gold.
100.
Is it
Yeah,
100
pearl.
gold?
It isn't.
Yeah.
You can buy a pearl.
Yeah, that is
But
half
I
of
am
the
not-
ship's remaining money.
I am not
That is-
spending 100 gold on a pearl.
that
Why
not
is this a
happening.
level 1 spell if it's 100 gold?
What do you mean?
Base game 5e, kind of crazy with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It also doesn't consume the pearl.
Yeah, it doesn't consume it.
Yeah, have you considered owning 100 gold pearl?
Have you considered that?
Isn't it meant to be
Consider not
scaled
being
down?
poor.
How much it costs?
In base
No.
5e, technically it would be a lot cheaper. Yes.
Yeah, we used to, when we first did this session, it was 10 gold
No, no,
pieces.
no.
Now
Yes,
we're just
when
doing
we
a
first
flat.
played. Yes, when we first played the campaign, we lowered everything by a factor of 10, but that has since been undone. So we just do base
So no.
5e. Well, I mean, we just do base 5e prices, except it is Valorous cost, so it's like 10 times, 100 times more expensive.
Yikes, man.
I don't actually think we have much else to sell. I mean, I assume that we sell the ballista bolts with the ballista.
Good bet. Yeah.
Also, what are these lead cannonballs? Can we sell those?
No, especially now that we have the thing that gives us infa. Because the lead cannonballs are better, right?
No.
Oh. Then what's
The
Why
difference
are
between lead and stone is going to be range, but that doesn't really matter because they're both just round shots, so you can just use the infinite cannonballs.
Yeah, so technically all we would need is like 2 of them.
As like backup?
Yeah.
How
does,
I know what you mean, yeah.
No, the artificial infusion just generates a magic ammo when it's shot without any ammo.
Correct.
Oh, does that have the range of stone or the range of lead?
It has the range of a normal round shot, which is lead.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, absolutely we can just in fact we can sell all of our round shot, right? Because
I'm gonna ask, what, all of it? Why keep cannons if we have no ammo?
Rudel is putting together something that'll
Oh
he has,
no.
he has infusions. He can infuse weapons with magical powers.
Hag
Hmm.
magic.
This comes from the hag, no?
Oh,
You trust
no,
it?
no, this is something he's been able to do for the entire time I've known him. He used to have it on his musket for the longest time. I think he put it on my crossbow at one point when I used that.
But now it is stronger. He can put it on a whole cannon.
No, he could always put it on a cannon. Just didn't have a
Had you
cannon
seen
to
him do
put
it?
on. Well, no, we didn't have a cannon, but this is something artificers can do.
Seems like hag magic.
It's,
I agree.
You can believe that, but it's not hag magic.
I don't trust hag magic.
That's fine because it's not hag magic.
Start quoting
cannot
fairy
prove
tales
it.
at him.
You know,
This is
I
one
read a
time in Hansel
story.
and Gretel.
I read
Oh,
a
God.
story. If hags, they take your wish and they twist it. If he wishes for infinite cannonballs as you're proposing, we'll have a ship that's sinking in cannonballs and weighs us down to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, that's fine if he had wished for magical cannonballs, but he didn't. This is something he can always do. And
Sus.
are we sinking in magical cannonballs?
Well, he is not done yet. No, he was
I
only
suppose not.
scheming in his book.
No, it's done. It only took like a couple.
No,
10
you have
minutes.
not infused the things yet, unless.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, I don't think so because you haven't said you've done it. Also, you have to remove 2 existing infusions on stuff because you can only have 3.
So I'll take it off of Adrian's non-existent crossbow.
True, the one
Yeah,
you hasn't used in a very
and-
long time.
That I don't even possess anymore.
You sold an infused weapon. Holy base.
No, I don't think I even sold it. I think it's just gone.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
guys. Actually, that's a hilarious money-making scheme. Be artificer, infuse weapon, sell it as magical item.
Get
Later, you
executed
put
by
the
the
infusion.
Department
We
of
could do
Magic
that with
for
the ballista.
fraudulent
Yeah,
sales.
that's how you get executed. Yeah.
It's
Well,
also
not
like
if
a
it's
very clearly a artificer infusion.
Not if you skip town, and lots
True.
of plebs won't know that.
True.
They'll just see a strong weapon.
Dude, this is gonna be the next encounter. Pact and Mythosia got hunting down the
Unfortunately,
Defiance.
the actual issue with that is selling magical items at all here, because I'm pretty
Well,
sure
yeah,
the Department of Magic will come and molest you.
I don't think you could do it here, but you could probably get away with it in somewhere crappy like the Delian League in the city state.
Probably, yeah, where they don't have insane bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Sounds like the
We
bureaucracy
should
is
take
working to
Rudel to the
protect
Department of
consumers.
Hags.
Think about that.
I don't. I think you're overestimating how many departments Doja has.
They seem to have a department for everything. We should take him to the Department of
I think
Hags.
I think they have five
Department of
or 5 or 6 of them. I think.
Is one of them the Department of Hags?
No, none of them are the Department of Hags.
There seem to be lots of hags in the area, more than I.
Crab will glance over his shoulder and say,
There's
"No,
one.
I'm pretty sure there is a Department of Hags. I think
Yes.
I've heard of this before."
We have to take Rudel there.
Sometimes I hate all.
Crab will
I am not joking.
Anyway.
I know out of character, I know I'm laughing, but in character, I am dead serious.
take him to the Department of Hags.
Yeah. No, this is no laughing matter to me.
Sorry, it's hard to get that image in my head when we're actively laughing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is
Anyway, is there anything else we could sell? I have this here, a bundle of mithril arrows that I'm planning on getting rid of.
Crab will speak up and say, "Perhaps we could exchange our slaves for fresher ones."
Base.
Slavery is slavery a thing in the Mythosian Empire?
Oh yeah, they have chattel slavery.
The Department of Slavery.
Let's
the
go!
The exact same thing we have?
No, the slight difference is that, well, it's actually, yeah, it's pretty similar to what you have in the sense that in Mythosia you have to have a labor contract so that within the span of 10 years they can pay off their slave debt, but that's already what you have, so.
Yeah, so it would literally just be exchanged.
Yep, you just get new slaves.
Like a flat. Okay, yeah, so I can look
Would
into
there be a
that, I can
positive to
imagine.
that?
Yeah, they're fresher apparently.
Crab will speak up and say, and perhaps we could get 1 or 2 extra.
Oh no.
Why? I'm gonna turn to Crab. A little
I
concerned.
don't.
Why do you need extra?
In
want to
case the ship
ask.
loses slaves, if we get attacked by pirates again. We were lucky this time that no cannons were shot at our ship, but if they are, there's a chance that one strikes the waterline and kills many rowers.
Would not hurt to have a few spares, in my opinion.
We also have to feed them.
Yes, but in the event of
Water them.
overpopulation, that too could be dealt with. They are slaves. Throw them overboard.
I'm not sure I'd be comfortable with doing that. Well,
I would do it.
but, yeah, I'm sure you would. Yes.
I
Anyway,
am with the captain on this one, but I will say we are okay on food. Ethan, I'll remind you at a game that when we
Yeah, we have-
budgeted food, that was still when we had all those goons that died session 1. So the number of rations we have, like per day, actually still supports more people than we currently have on
You
the
guys
ship.
can support 108 people on the ship and still be.
We're going to be getting more people anyway. I have to go get a carpenter. I have to go get a few carpenters.
Yeah, but you're not going to get any of those because you're going to have to go to the Department of Carpentry. And
No,
gonna...
obviously you don't get fucking guild carpenters. You get schmucks who, for one reason or another, can't be part of the guild and are really looking for work because there's no carpentry work to be had unless you're part of the guild.
Fair. Yeah. Okay.
Then
So
we
you're
get
gonna hire
arrested by the
scabs.
ministry of guys who didn't follow the guild.
Yes, and it's okay with hiring scabs because I'm
Dude.
leaving.
You're gonna have to go to the Department of Schmucks.
Department of losers who aren't part of any guild.
Sad. I mean, that does kind of
Department of
exist. That's the
Unskilled
kind of-
Labor.
The crazy part is that kind of does exist. That's literally what the Department of Civility, like one of their jobs. Like,
What, Department of losers who don't have a guild?
No. They do labor protection, which is kind of that.
Oh, I see.
Department of losers.
Yeah.
Yo, bro got a
Strange.
cabinet position. Really? What's he do? He's sheriff department. Secretary of losers.
So
Okay.
it sounds like we have a couple items to sell, and a couple of other things.
We still should buy some more food. I don't know how long we're going to be mucking around in the Bay of Galadrim, and I would rather not have to make a port at anywhere in Galadrim because that place is horrible.
Yeah.
No.
Alex, what would another what's
know what
the
I
cost
said,
per day of food?
I don't think you want to buy this here in Ravinium, because you will find, after going to a bulk seller, that the amount of food entering Ravinium is capped, because, it's quarantined. So the price of rations here is 100 per, which is 5 times the usual price.
Oh.
Huh. Yeah, never mind. That's fine. We won't do that. Is Flamium
Whoa.
under quarantine?
Every city in the Mythosian Empire has a quarantine notice.
So we will not be able to buy food until we are in Galadrim.
Even Galadrim has a quarantine notice, but that is a quarantine notice by the Mythosian Empire. The local Galadrim warlords probably won't follow, proper social distancing.
What about Hathon?
You're not sure what their anything is. You've never been there.
Yeah.
You've never anything.
Galadrim is so reopen
I
our
see,
tool
okay.
build.
Wait, is Galadrim just Florida?
No! No! Alright, we'll worry about food and...
So it sounds like
necessities
we're
for
gonna
life
worry about
later.
all of this when we get to Hathon. Is there any purchase or sale that we actually want to try to do in Ravinium?
I imagine selling our goods would probably net a decent profit, considering
Okay, what do we
no
want
one
to sell?
else is doing that. Ballista?
Okay. You said you wanted to go to the Department of War?
I was gonna go to the Department of War, and Kaheen could maybe go find a private buyer.
Kaheen, what is your method of finding a private buyer for 2 ballistas?
I'll let
yeah,
her
just
know about that bar.
Pound the block.
We only have one.
that has.
Oh, you're right. You only have one.
I'll let her know about the bar I went to, where most of the other ship captains seem to hang out.
Ah, good. I love going to bars with ship captains. I'm gonna bring Unios with me.
All right, so we can start splitting up for the day. Adrian, you're going to go to the Department of War. Kaheen and
before
Unios
we
are going to
leave-
go to... Yeah?
I did want to elaborate. Are we getting fresh slaves?
Oh, yeah, but that's something I can do.
All right.
All right.
I'd also
No,
like to
you should
catch
have Unios
Adrian.
do that. I think Unios
Also-
would actually be like unironically good at picking out fresh slaves. I think
Okay,
he's done it
I'll-
before.
Alright, can I just take him with me then?
Okay, we have Adrian and Unios doing that. Kaheen's going to go do that. Rudel, what are you trying to get done today?
I assume when they walk off, Crab's gonna be in the room by himself.
Him and his human cat are looking at a spell book.
He contacted me last night.
Crab glances over. Your patron.
Hmm. I might need your help in the coming days.
It will depend on what. Help does not come for free.
What might you want for your service?
If we are united in my cause, and that which I follow tells me to assist you, I will do so. If not, it'll be something for you to do on your own. I'm not sure if there's anything you could give me.
I understand. And with that, I will walk out.
All right.
Yeah, I'd like to catch Adrian before he leaves as well.
Okay. Yeah, Adrian, as you're crossing the gangplank to go to the Department of War with Unios, Shaiban sort of waves and shouts for you and catches up.
Shaiban, have a good night, I hope.
Good night is one could have it after the first day of long travel on land.
Yes.
Would you still want the entire false floor of the office to be built? I can get it done within the week. I think if we are agreeing to do some of the actions in Garajum that you have spoken of, perhaps a false floor would be beneficial.
Probably a good idea. If you can get it done within the week, go for it. If you can't, just do as much as you can.
Yes, continue.
I'll be hiring some carpenters. They are not going to be guild, so I will need you. I will come get you, so you can actually tell me if they know anything about carpentry or not.
Alrighty.
All right,
Sounds good.
I'll come and get you at that time then.
Alex, I did kind of bullshit that. I would assume it is possible to make a false floor within the whole week that we are here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Your carpenters will probably get a bit annoyed at that because they won't be able to enjoy shore leave. They'll be helping you build a false floor, but I don't know if you care about their annoyance.
They'll be annoyed because what?
They're working, not enjoying shore leave.
Oh, wait. So I was hoping I would be able to do it by myself, not.
No. That's much too much work to be done solo.
All right, cool. Then yeah, I don't care as much about the annoyance.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll get them. I'll put in a good word for them though.
In what sense?
To who?
Probably give them like an extra like 0.1 of a share or something like that, so they get paid out better.
You do not have jurisdiction over that. You'll have to ask Kaheen to do that for you.
Yeah, no, I would just. That's what I meant by good word.
Okay.
Like later
well,
on.
yeah, as Kaheen's on the deck, so as she's leaving to go do her little errand, you can catch up with her.
This will be something discussed later on, I feel.
Okay,
Not
great.
At this exact
Then
moment. Yeah.
in the future, you'll discuss their compensation. Brutal. As you're making your way down from the ship, you're going to be finishing up the infusion today. Actually, no, you'd still be on the ship. So you're at the forecastle. You're making the final little adjustments on what this infusion's going to look like. You've already lifted it on all the other items. All that's left is to infuse this cannon and the rear cannon. And you feel your chest begin to burn. And unlike last night, where it was pretty okay to take your shirt off because, there's only a couple people around, the deck of the Defiance is literally crawling with people. So you just have to keep your shirt on. And you see a small part of it begins to blacken as the shirt is burning away in that section from the heat of your brand. And then you hear a voice in your head. Puppet! You reek of one of my sisters. One of her little marionettes must be within the city. I will seek her out, but in the meantime, I would ask that you do the same. The strings of this puppet must be cut.
So I have to kill someone?
No response comes.
String.
Huh?
There's no response.
Okay. So you said that someone in the city. I have to investigate someone in the city.
It's literally Crab.
It's Crab, dude.
It's literally Crab. She wants
It's
to kill
Crab.
Crab.
Someone else has ties to a demon.
She did say
I
one
want
of
you
her
to cut the
sisters.
tie.
She did not say a cousin, which is what she previously used to refer to demons.
Oh, interesting.
Whatever.
And
that's all
plus,
family.
if it was, I was thinking that, but if it was Crab, she probably would have said something sooner.
That's also a
Yeah, I
good
guess
point,
you did say
actually.
in the city.
Well,
But,
so
I'd say you go kill Crab.
Shaiban is making a false floor. Rudol, I'm going to give you a little bit to stew on that and think about it. Vezio Black Iron. our good Marine Sergeant. You got drunk last night. You're awake now. What do you want to do in the city?
While I was drinking, would it be realistic for me to have found some places to gamble?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Most of your Marines would have probably migrated from a bar to a gambling house. I'll be honest, though, if you do that, you are going to have zero money when you wake up today.
Well, not if I win.
That is true. Okay, good point. Yarrow, roll me a flat d20 to see how your gambling went last night.
Oh.
Dude, all the crew
Can I
is like, we need an
specifically-
advance on our paycheck. We need an advance.
Specifically?
I'm partial to specific types of gambling. Is there?
So the types of
like-
gambling they will have on offer is a lot of card games, a lot of coin games. The one game that I think is relatively unique to Ravinium is you can bet on underground dueling matches, because dueling to first blood is pretty common in this city.
Oh yeah, I'll go for that.
All right. Flat
I'm partial
D20.
to the gambling where I win.
So
Do
true.
they, can you see the fighters beforehand, or is
You
it
can,
just-
yeah. They are both young noblemen who have several scars on
Noble,
their cheeks
like-
and faces.
Does one look more formidable to the other?
They
As
are
a-
both relatively skinny and, like, when I say young, I mean like 16, 17.
Well, I'll just flip a coin and bet on one of them. Then.
Mm-hmm.
Ace.
You will. Actually, you know what? Since you're flipping a coin, roll a d2. Alrighty. Okay, you go up after this match. You double your currency. It remains in credit until you're done gambling. Would you like to go again?
Just coin flips.
Yeah, one. No.
All right, one more time.
Just one more
If you
time.
get this,
Don't-
you'll
don't
be
bet.
4 times your original money.
Don't bet all your money.
Well, but if you don't bet all your
No,
money, then you're
betting.
not going to get big returns.
You know.
No. See, you do the coin flip thing where you only bet the same amount of money and you just like double it every time you lose.
Yeah, that works if you have an infinite amount of money.
Yeah, which he doesn't.
I see. Well,
I guess I could take an
theoretically,
infinite amount of credit.
All right, so you're doubling down. Let's see. Let's go. D2. You lose it all. You lose it all, Vezio. A young man's cheek gets cut deeply, and the last of the silvers are taken from your pocket.
I'm unhappy.
So the following morning, you are hungover and broke.
I'm unhappy. He says.
There's nothing saying you can't ask for another cash advance.
God.
I'll sit around for a
Oh,
while. Think about my actions.
bone
Yeah,
hurting.
You just lay in your bunk for a little bit. All right.
At least with some of the other stuff you could have cheated, but with that, that's just like.
So we'll cut
You
back
should have
to.
coached the guy. You should have like trained your guy a little bit. I taught him a few things about fighting.
We'll cut back to Rudel. You're at the forecastle, and you've gotten this message. Do you have literally any idea where to start on this, or are you just going to wait for your good old friend Clumratha to poke you again?
You just said that someone in this city is, like, communing with one of her sisters, and I have to try and find them.
She says, what she said was, I will seek her out, but in the meantime, I would ask that you do the same.
So she's gonna try and find them, but I have to also do the same.
If you have any ideas, yeah. I mean, if you literally have no idea where to start, then you have no idea where to start.
I guess I'm gonna start with the surgeon.
On your own ship?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you head down to the hold, and will find, speaking to one of the oarsmen, that the surgeon has already left the ship for today. He left at the crack of dawn. No one on the ship is very close to the surgeon. No one knows his name. Like, I mean, they know his name, but they don't know him personally, so no one asked him where he was going. Do you have a method of finding the surgeon?
Just no one saw where he went.
No, they saw him leave the ship, walk down the pier into the city, but they didn't see where he went from there because they were all on the ship, hungover from the night before.
He's like, yeah, have you seen a Myth Dojin guy? He's kind of just like Myth Dojin, like
Yeah,
a Myth
he's
Dojin
Mytho-
name.
yeah, black hair, short, yeah, young. Mythosian.
I guess I would check. Is there like a surgeon's guild?
There is, but it is not within the quarantine zone.
Oh, okay. What is in the quarantine zone?
Well, there's about 3 blocks worth of shady gambling dens, drug dens, bars, and things like that. There is the dock workers area, where they do like unloading ships, loading ships, ship construction, a carpentry guild, several offices of the Department of Coin and Department of Civility. There is a bunch of like generic retail shops, restaurants and bookstores and things like that.
Department of Hags.
There is unfortunately no Department of Hags. There's a Department of War garrison, and there is. I think that's it. I think that's what's in the docks.
Department of Hags, supremely based.
Oh,
I think I'm
there's
gonna
also
go back
several
to Crab.
churches. Okay, you head back up to the captain's quarters. Crab is currently scratching the belly of his cat, and the cat makes these weird noises.
No.
Yeah, kind of. It sounds like a man saying, "Yes."
Meow.
Yes.
Imagine the thing
Yes.
eating cat food. God, that would be
And
horrendous. Like,
Crab
okay.
continues to scratch the belly of the cat, but glances over at you.
She asked me to seek out someone is communing with one of her sisters. Have you had to do something similar?
No.
Do you know what this could mean? Well, I can infer, but do you have any ideas of methods?
Your magic is limited. Perhaps you have a certain type of person that you think would make such a deal.
A fool.
Yes, a fool. Someone
Well,
like that.
I would
probably
imagine a
could.
city like this would be filled with them. So not sure if that helps you very much. For tasks that I have undertaken, they have largely been simple. Experimentations, killings, things such as that.
Alright. Thank you.
He nods.
And I'll leave. So I guess I'll just start with like gambling dens. I'll look for people who are like, what is it?
Openly displaying their brand.
Well,
Based.
I'll go to drug dens.
Are you gonna
I'll
be
start a
gambling
drug
while
den.
at the? Are you gonna be doing drugs and gambling and doing all that stuff while you're at these places to blend in?
Yeah, I'll throw in like a couple silver to like
Couple
gamble.
silver. That's like 2
Oh,
hands.
wow.
Well, how much silver? I'm only saying a couple silver.
Well, Alex, if he wins both hands, then he has 4
Oh, I
silver.
Yeah,
have
but he's
four-
trying to be
I
here
have
for
four.
hours, okay?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
he should try
uh,
winning
I'll-
the whole
I'll
time.
throw
Wins
in
his
like
first 40 hands.
True.
I'll throw in like 15 silver.
Okay. Yeah, you go to a gambling house, and what type of person are you looking out for?
Not even
I'll start with
molesting,
like just like glancing at like parts of skin, like looking at what is it, scars.
Okay, roll me a perception check. Also, roll me a d2.
To see if you win.
dude. It should be a D3,
Could be.
because like gambling doesn't have 50-50 odds.
Oh no,
some
I
games
lose
do, but-
15.
Yes, indeed. Well, yeah, not immediately, but yes, eventually you are going to lose all your shit. But roll a perception check to see as you look around this gambling den for openly displayed brands. Yeah, I mean, you see a couple people with birthmarks. There's one guy who has a really nasty scar, and it takes you a couple seconds, because realistically, a brand is just a type of scar, so you have to look at it for a couple moments, but you don't think it's like an actual brand in the same sense that yours is. And within this gambling den, you do not find anyone that matches that description.
Okay. What kind of drugs are here?
Within this gambling den, fire moss and mother's milk, which is an opium extract, seems to be the most popular things to be consumed.
Hmm. I think I'll. What is it? If I hang out here longer, can I do another perception check?
Yeah.
Opium.
Okay, I'll lose 15 more.
Okay, D2.
Or win.
Well, you may win, yeah.
Yeah, have you
Oh,
considered winning or gambling?
Have you considered that?
You should just buy opium and do that instead of gamble.
Sure, you could be here for a whole
Oh,
day.
no.
You don't lose.
You lose your 15th silver. Roll another perception check. You look around,
yeah.
and new people have come in. So there is that. But again, there's a couple people with tattoos now, which are pretty rare in Myth-Doja because they're seen as low class and disgusting. But none of them have openly displayed brands on them.
Yeah, I'll move on.
Where to?
So there's ship loading. What'd you say? There was.
So there's the functioning apparatus of the harbor, which is Department of Coin, Department of Civility, ship, all these guilds and stuff. Then there is retail shops like bookstores and bakeries and things like that. Then there is this sort of seedy underbelly, and then there is the seedy but legal underbelly, which is bars and stuff like that. And that's basically what most of the docks is made up of.
Yeah, I'll just what is it? God. I'll go to the. I don't want to go to the actual underbelly because Real's kind of a little bit scared.
Yeah. You can always go to the retail shops, poke your head in.
Signed a pact with a demon, scared of the ghetto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants to gentrify the ghetto while worshiping Satan, Bogman.
He's just racist.
Yes. At least I'm gaining something out of a demon pact. I'm just walking into the slums. It's just oh, I get robbed. Oh.
Yeah.
What are you gaining? What have you gotten out of this pact?
The demon hasn't gotten anything either. So what has she got out
That's
of it?
not. That's.
What are you doing? Why are you doing?
All
what
of you
doing?
shut up.
What are you
I'm smarter.
True,
I'm
true,
smarter.
true. Ruda, what are you looking for?
Smarter.
I might also just poke my head into a couple shops and be oh, I'm just window shopping.
Yeah, as you're walking along one of these streets, there are 4 businesses here. There's a bookstore, there's an Alceranian diner, there is a bakery, and there is a hat shop. And as you, sort of turn to walk down the street, you hear, well, first you feel sizzling along your chest as the skin around the brand burns, and then you hear a voice in your head. Yes, I have found her. She is a baker, a woman of auburn hair and sad eyes. Go to her shop. Let me gaze upon her.
Okay, I'll go to the bakery. Your
brand remains hot and burning, and you hear this, breathing in your head. It's really fucking weird. You can just constantly hear the hag breathing
simulated.
Yeah, like that. That gets it. Yeah, it's like a baiting dog, sort of. Yeah, it's
exactly
like that. Yeah. Yeah, you head over to the bakery, and you step inside.
Xander, is that you doing it on the mic, or do you have a sound effect?
I have a sound effect.
That's his one sound effect
Yeah,
per session, and he's used that as his one sound effect for 3 sessions in a row.
That one every time, yeah.
You keep making sniffing jokes.
Inside of the bakery is a woman in her late 30s, auburn hair. She's a bit on the heavier side. She has a sort of smock around her central chest, and she is currently sort of behind the counter rolling loaves of bread. And sort of standing at the service position is a man. He's pretty tall. He's in his late 30s as well, and he has fucking empty eyes. He is just 1,000 yards staring even as you open the door to enter the shop.
Okay, she said she, so I assume she means the lady. I'm in the shop, right?
Yeah, the little bell on the bakery door rings. The woman continues to knead at a loaf of bread, and the man just continues to 1,000-yard stare.
Hello?
The woman glances back and says, "Oh, you're being so rude, Marcus. Please, she walks over and sort of gently pushes the man, and he sort of takes a few steps again, still 1,000-yard staring, and she says, "Hi, welcome. What were you looking to get today?"
Does Clomratha say anything?
No, you just hear the breathing in the back of your head.
Are her eyes sad?
Yeah, I would say so. She looks pretty stressed out.
I'm gonna go close. Walk. She's at the counter, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to the counter. So I guess I'm just gonna wait until
We got
have
a couple
instructions,
fresh
'cause I was-
loaves. If you want that.
So-
We also have some cinnamon twist bread.
1,000 yard stare at the guy back.
The guy isn't looking at
uh,
Brutal, to be clear. He's 1,000 yards staring out the window.
Is he all right?
Oh, yeah, my husband, Marcus, he's just fine. He's fine. Marcus, give the customer a wave. And he looks over at you, looks down, and his arm sort of like jerkily raises, and he just sort of waves it side to side. See? Anyways, what were you looking to get? You
Okay, just out of
Clomretha-
character.
You hear Clomretha giggle in the back of your head.
What? I just kind of gonna think of like, what do you want from me? Like, what do you want me to do now?
Same as every other time you tried to make Clomretha speak to you, nothing happens, and the woman looks at you, waiting.
Just buy something, Blake.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'll guess I'll take some of those cinnamon twists. They sound very nice.
All right, are you looking for how many? One or two? Or maybe one more?
How much will? That's like 5-10 pence.
Oh, no, it's just two.
Oh yeah, I'll take 2.
No, buy
2 is
one
good.
for the whole crew.
All right. And she goes back and she reaches into this basket. She pulls out these two sort of, they're sort of covered with a cloth. She emerges these two like twisted pieces of bread with cinnamon that's twisted up inside of them. And she places them on the counter and she extends her hand. She says,
While she's doing this, can I roll a perception check to see if I can see a brand?
on her?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Roll me a perception check.
Also on the guy, because he's just standing there and he can.
Yeah, he's very disconcerting to look at. Yeah, you don't see a brand on either of them. Yeah, I think that's all I'll say. Neither of them seem to have a brand. For him, it would be the easiest to see because he's just wearing a white shirt and trousers. They both they're not sitting on him right, and he isn't adjusting them, which is weird. I think you can, I mean, obviously, there's something very weird about that guy. He hasn't moved. He's breathing, but he hasn't, said anything or moved other than the time she instructed him to do so. And she will, place those two cinnamon twists on the desk and on, the counter of the bakery and extend her hand for 4 pence.
I'll hand her 4 pence.
Do you have 4 pence?
Yeah, I do.
He has copper! Holy bog! Okay. Yeah, you hand over 4 pence. She says, well, I hope you have a wonderful day.
Your eyes. Why do they look so sad?
Roll a persuasion check. That could either be very sweet or very creepy, depending on how she takes it.
Can I get a smile with that?
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
Ooh.
yeah. I think she looks a little bit shy, and she says, my husband Marcus had a bit of an accident, and, we're working through the recovery.
What happened?
She made a deal with a hag. She
She sort of pats him on the
no,
shoulder and
probably.
says, he took a very nasty fall, and he's not quite back to what he used to be, but I'm sure he'll get there.
He died, didn't he?
What?
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 Oh, well, I assumed. Yeah, I was trying to make a connection, but
She says that. She says what? And she's looking at you
He's right there.
annoyed. She says, no, he's hurt, okay? But he's getting better.
Well, you have my condolences, and I will hand her an extra pent.
She will take it awkwardly.
Tips $1.
And you still hear Clomretha breathing in the back of your mind, and your brand is still scorching hot.
It's a
And I'll
dollar.
turn to walk away.
Yeah, as you exit the shop, the breathing sort of slows, and she says, oh, little puppet, this will be delicious. Heed my words very carefully, for a simple sword to the chest will not suffice for this one. When the moon ascends to the apex of the sky, collect dewdrops from the leaves of a foxglove in a cocoon of spider silk. Place the vessel of foxglove tears within a fairy circle, and walk around thrice and thrice again. As you circumvent it, think of peace, tranquility, and sleep. as moonlit night turns into shadowed morn, strew the dewy gems in a widdershins ballet. Then, at the break of dawn, utter the words, hither, thither, starry tether, lulled to sleep, now and forever. And then once this is all done, you must simply say, Clomretha, Clomretha, Clomretha.
What the fuck?
Her voice fades, and your brand returns to normal temperature. And that was a very specific set of instructions, so I'm going to DM those to you.
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say, I was trying to figure out how to write those
that's bad
down.
formatting. One sec. That's better formatting. There we go.
I wonder where you're gonna find a fairy circle in urban Mythdosia.
Or like,
Yeah, I don't even know what
a fox leaf or whatever.
I think there's a lot of words that Rudel doesn't know. What is a widdershins ballet?
Yeah, I guess the next one I'm gonna do is go to the bookstore.
Yeah, all right.
yeah,
After
shit
this
on
message and your I think you notice as you walk to the bookstore, your breathing has massively improved now that she's no longer speaking through you. Each time she does so, it feels like your entire chest is about to burn up into nothing. And you know, it's borderlining like fire damage almost, how hot the brand gets. But you make your way over to the bookstore. What are you dressed as? Like, what is your normal walking clothing when you're not wearing armor or carrying weapons?
I have fine clothes on.
Okay. All right. You walk into the establishment. The owner of the bookstore doesn't give you a second glance.
I'm gonna try and find like what is it? Just like plant life in Mythdosia. If there's a book about that.
Absolutely. There's a special word for this. I don't recall it. Horticology, I believe. And yeah, you can find a tome on it. It's an identification tome where it will have like an illustrated image of a plant, what it's called, and its medicinal properties if it has any.
All right, I want to flip to F and try and find foxglove.
Indeed, you can find foxglove. They are a sort of like purplish flower that sort of hangs downward. They look a bit like orchids. They occur wildly throughout every province of Mythdosia, and they typically have a lot of bees around them because they have these big old sort of drooping stems that can easily be mounted by bees.
Okay, I assume. So place a vessel of foxglove tier within a fairy circle, and walk around thrice and thrice more as you.
I love the thrice and thrice more. It's like, I'll have 10 whoppers.
10 whoppers.
And 10 more whoppers.
Okay, where am I
Such a good
supposed
bit.
to put this? Place the vessel of foxglove tiers within a fairy circle.
Perhaps you'd like to bring one of your fellow crewmates on this deciphering of these instructions.
Yeah, I will. I'll go to Crab.
Oh, you think? Okay, sure.
Oh wait, huh?
I was just wondering. I mean,
Who do you?
I wasn't calling out a specific crew member. Crab does not seem like a very Fey person, and these are explicitly Fey instructions. Though I don't know if anyone
And
on the
also, I
crew
think
is
he expressed he
particularly
didn't
skilled.
want to help, but, you know, that's up to you.
I do also believe that he said that. But
Wait, why is it Fey instructions if she's a demon?
And also, I don't know anyone who's like on board with Faye, because everyone kind of like shat on me,
That is
except for
true.
Crab.
that is
I like
true.
Faye.
Why?
No, dude.
Like you had.
Okay, yeah, you make your way back to the Defiance. You head up into the
Clemmerth is
captain's
only kind of
quarters.
Fey.
And as you begin to speak with Crab, we are going to cut to... Let's think. Shaibon is making that thing. Vezio is... not gambling, he's just Madge. So we're going to cut to Unios and Adrian. The two of you are making your way to the Department of War. The Department of War building in the dock district here is partial garrison, which is not accessible to the public, and partial this like cramped little office with 4 scribes who are working away at various tasks. And that is the building that you two will go into. You head inside, there are 3 people in front of you. They are all led off to little, cubicles. And eventually, after about 45 minutes, you guys find yourself seated in front of a scribe at the Department of War.
Hi. We're wondering if the Department of War buy list of those.
They could be interested. Do you have documentation of ownership?
That would absolutely be something that happens, right? We legally own these ballistas.
You do, but you do not have documentation of ownership because that is not standard practice in the city-state.
Oh. No, we don't. not really. Yeah, no.
All
They
right.
are imported.
Okay. You have physical possession of them.
Yes.
All right. I could pencil you in for a inspection
When?
whenever the quarantine notice is lifted.
Ah, there it is. All right. Yeah, never mind.
All right. Was that all?
What about these? And I'll pull out a bundle of mithril arrows.
She looks at them.
Mithril arrows. Sorry.
Yes. Yes, the Department of War would, of course, be interested in purchasing them. Again, I assume you do not have ownership documents.
No.
And again, an assessor would be needed, in which case I could pencil you in once the quarantine notice is lifted.
Yeah, that's about what I expected. All right then, and I will get up.
Okay.
Nuts to these people.
You and Unios exit the Department of War office, Unios never having spoken a word. Where to next?
That was supremely unhelpful.
Expected.
Yes, yeah.
Where
could
to
there be
next?
a-
My enterprising slave mongers.
Where would one buy large amounts of slaves? Or
Well, in any functional
chattel.
normal city, you'd go find a slave master, and the two of you would work out some agreement. But from everything you know of Mythosia, you probably need to go to the Department of Coin or Civility.
Yeah,
Clever
okay,
slaves.
let's go find some department. And
Which
ask
one?
them about
Department of Civility or Coin?
civility.
All right, you make your way to the
They
Department of
handle
Civility
labor,
building,
yeah.
and as you begin to approach it to go wait in some long line, you realize this is a court building. This is a hall of justice, not a forum for buying slaves, unless they do that in their court buildings. But that seems
Okay,
unlikely.
let's go wait in a long line at the Department of Coin then.
All right, the two of you guys make your way to the Department of Coin building in the docks. There are two buildings, one of which has like this tall clock tower extending from it, and it doesn't have a long line, but it sounds like there's a lot of people inside. The other one is a squat little, looks like administrative office.
Let's go to the one with a lot of people at, more importantly, no line.
Okay. The two of you make your way to that building. You head inside, and there is this clamor of noise from inside. It's like hard to make out exactly what they're talking about. And then you see people waving these little sheets of paper, and one man says, "No, I don't want that. I want 3 shares of the VoD." And you realize that this is one of a uniquely Mythosian institution, which is
a trading floor.
Yeah, it's a trading floor for ship shares and fleet shares and legion shares, and it is actively bustling. With people trying to get the best of investments.
Canon in Mythosia.
Of course.
All right, let's go wait in the long line at the other.
You guys exit the wild exuberance of the trading floor, and as our adventure music begins, that's funny timing. You guys make your way to the long line in front of the Department of Civility or Coin. That's so funny. You guys wait, and about an hour and a half later.
I am gonna mumble to myself in Delian. I hate Mythosia.
I will mumble to him in Delian. Yeah, why do you think I hate?
Alex, campaign idea, we obliterate Mythosia. I think the player buy-in would be strong.
Interestingly enough, the one campaign that takes place in Mythosia, all the players seem to love Mythosia, so...
Yeah, but that's because
How weird.
I'm listening to that game, and I think that they're just skullfucked.
Oh, and sorry, much more importantly, they're all like level 7 and 8.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I know a wizard in the city state that might buy into that.
Yeah, true.
Dude, I think we could have a pretty good war going on there.
Yeah. You guys make your way through this long line. It's an hour and a half of riveting action. And eventually, you find yourself sitting down in a small room with a man who's dressed very nice. He has several documents on his table, and he seemed to just be like an intro clerk to figure out your reason for being here. He says, "All right, how can I help you?" I gotta stop the action music. This is not some high-stakes situation.
It's so funny. Keep
It is
on.
very funny. Yeah, you sit in a quiet little office with a beautiful window to the harbor with this man.
Yeah, do they call them something specific, not slaves, or is slaves just fine?
I think slaves is a universal term.
Okay. All right. We're here to purchase or exchange some slaves.
All right, that can be done. What sort of slaves are you looking for?
Rowing slaves.
Rowing slaves, all right. I'll need to go fetch the ledger of what slaves are within the dock district that can actually be traded. I'll warn you, our stock is rather low, so, quarantining and all that.
Understandable, I suppose, yes.
All right, I'll be right back. And he'll stand up and leave for a little bit. You guys sort of twiddle your thumbs. You look out the window at the harbor. Action adventure music echoes in the background. And eventually,
really?
no.
They have a live band here?
No, unfortunately not. And he returns with a large binder, which he places on the table and says, "Alrighty, let's take a look. Rowing slaves, rowing slaves. I'm, just to be clear, galley slaves. You mean galley slaves when you say rowing slaves, right?
Yes.
All right,
yes.
we have 6 men who can do that type of work.
All right. Yeah, I suppose we'll take all we can get.
All right. The slave debt of each of them seems to be pretty similar. It'll take about 7 years to work off their contracts. Do you want me to bring in their labor contracts? We can hand over ownership. The owner lists them as 2 gold to purchase them.
Are they all
6 of them?
Midlothian?
No, these all look like prisoners of war.
Yeah, that should be. Yeah, that should be.
All right. Well, if you need to go get your coin together, it'll be 12 gold for initial purchasing, an additional gold for the processing fee, and of course, you'll have to make sure that they're able to pay off their debts. Wouldn't want to run afoul of the Department of Civility. And I can go get you those labor contracts if you like. We won't need to bring the actual owner. He's put them off into the temporary service of the Department of Coin until they were sold.
Oh, I see. Are they're all in good physical health, I imagine?
If you'd like, you can go inspect them yourselves, but according to this report, none of them have been sick in several months. Weight seems reasonable for their heights.
What kind of work have they been doing? Are they?
They've been moving crates for the Dock Workers Guild temporarily.
All right, so yeah, they're kept in shape then.
You said they were prisoners of war. Are they former soldiers or captured civilians?
I'm not sure. It doesn't say so. They're all Tabrashan, so, they'll probably be mumbling that behind your backs. Hopefully you speak some of that. None of them have the Sash brand or any other brand indicating that they're attempted to escape, though.
Oh, that's all right. That's good.
Have they been inspected for the plague?
Of course, yes.
All right.
And
That sounds.
What about selling our current slaves if we were?
That's a bit more complicated. That's
we
sort of where.
I'll look at them. We wouldn't. We don't have. We're trying to get extras anyway. We don't. I'd say we don't have enough at the moment.
All right, perfect. Because as much as us in the Department of Coin would like to make it simple, civility, the Department of Civility has made a bunch of additional instructions now that the plague is starting to spread. So it'd be at least 3 weeks before any could be sold.
Yes, I'm sure they have.
All right, I'll go get those labor contracts. Do you have the 12 gold on you, or
Appreciate it.
do we need to do this through some sort of writ of credit?
No, I have.
Perfect, and I'll be right back. And the surprisingly helpful clerk of the Department of Coin stands up, picks up his big old ledger of slaves, walks out. You guys sort of look out at the harbor.
I like that
Well,
the one
that's
thing they can do without too much bureaucracy.
Yeah, has
is, like,
purchased human beings, yeah. Welcome to the
that was,
Mythosian Empire.
That was
This is
surprising.
the most Mythosia I've had in ever. It's so much Mythosia. It's just Mythosia.
You can't even sell a fucking ballista, but you can purchase human beings. Yeah. So you guys, sort of sit there for a few moments, twiddle your thumbs. You hear sort of a muffled talk outside.
Do you speak Tabrashan?
I do not.
I'm sure we have someone on the crew that does.
I do.
Pog.
There we go. We have someone.
Yeah.
And the man returns. He places 6 labor contracts on the table. These contracts are essentially, they describe how this person was acquired into slavery, what percentage of their debt they've already paid off, what percentage of debt remains, what rate they legally have to be paid at, and what their estimated freedom date is, which for all of these men is 7+ years away. Additionally, the man will hold up one of the contracts and say, "All right, looks like they fought in the Third Boyers War, in case you were curious about how they were captured. This one, looks like all 5 of them were captured at the Battle of Palama. I don't know any of the details of that, but just in case you were curious.
Do I know anything about those, Eric?
Roll history. Yeah, the Third Boyers Revolt was a war that raged about 4 years ago. It was between... It was between the native Tibaratians of a province called Cispon Tarsilaria versus the Mythosians. The war started because the Mythosians have this policy called Mythosification, which is basically cultural genocide against all groups other than Mythosians. They want to eradicate language and religion and things like that, and so it sort of just pushed too far, and so the entire province of Cispon Tarsilaria rose up in rebellion. It was a year of horrifically brutal fighting, where a Mythosian city fell for the first time in 80+ years to the rebels, before all their leaders were killed, and every man, woman, and child that joined the rebellion was either sold into slavery or killed.
These were the part of sold into slavery gang.
Yeah, and if they were fighting for the rebels, they could have just been random farmers that were conscripted, or they could have been like serial professional soldiers. Who knows?
Are we going to get a chance to inspect them before we sign this?
He asked you if you wanted to, and you said no, so he just has the labor contracts presented right here. Once you sign them, you own them.
Would you recommend that? Or, I mean, is that standard practice?
Only if you're paranoid about it. I mean, they're not going to stop you. You can. It's like squeezing your avocado before you buy it, which is, I know it's a horrible analogy because these are human beings, but that is literally like what the thing is. It's just, if you want to be sure, you can do that.
I'm going to recommend that we inspect them.
Okay, yeah, we'd like to do that then.
Yeah, the guy will nod, and he'll say, "That'll take a bit longer. Let me think. Yeah, I'll send a missive, a courier to the Dock Workers Guild.
How long will that take?
Probably 40-50 minutes.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah, that's okay.
You must be used to dealing with the Department of Civility.
Yeah, it's, yeah.
Well, we like to let the coin flow as it will.
Well, that makes one of you.
Yeah, I'll have that courier sent out. Just wait in the courtyard outside of the building. They'll be here soon enough.
May we read over these contracts?
Yeah, feel free. I mean, they're yours now.
Eric's, I'm gonna investigate it for anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah, so the things you'd be looking for are, past escape attempts, none of which have them. You'd be looking to see what type of work they've been doing in the past, and for them it's been hard labor. They were owned by the Mythosian government for about 2 years, where they built roads, which is about the most hard form of labor you can do. Since then, they have been sort of passed off between various private owners to do manual labor. They're not skilled in any way, which is perfect for rowers, which is why they were signed up for it. I think that for Unios, who lives in a society where chattel slavery was totally normal, this isn't very sobering. Hell, actually, not even for Adrian. Actually, no, that Colonies doesn't really have slavery quite like this. But these men have lived pretty miserable lives for the last 4 years.
Yeah, and it's, well, I suppose it's going to get a little bit better.
No.
I mean...
No, you don't treat them well.
You do not treat your oarsmen well. You're literally buying these people to give them to Crab, or at least partially.
No, that is not happening. I don't care what you may say about the other practices, that is not happening.
Okay, well, I guess that's something.
Have you even, inspected the oarsmen to see if Crab has even done anything to them?
I find it highly unlikely he's done something. I feel like, due to the fact he does all of his experimentation where I live, I would have been able to figure that out.
That is probably true. Yeah, that is.
Over here, no, I'm giving them a better life. Evidence, I'm not giving them to Crab.
Oh god. Also, I think there's one abnormality, Unios, which is that. Actually, no, you're from the Deli League. Never mind. The Deli League are psychotic. I was about to be like, well, this basically, one of the slaves was enslaved when he was 12, which in most slavery systems, like that of the city-state or the colonies, would be illegal. But in the Delian League, you guys practice, like, racial chattel slavery, so a 12-year-old being a slave is like nothing. You guys enslave literal babies, so... The Delian League is much worse than Mythosia.
How old is he now?
16.
Oh, yeah, I think our youngest slave is 14, I think.
It's fine, this is fine, he's good. Jesus Christ. Also
grow up, 16-year-old.
They've also been given new Mythosian names, because again, cultural genocide. They're not going to call them Tebrashan names after capturing them in battle.
Yeah, that I don't give a fuck about.
Dude. Oh,
No,
God.
sorry,
One
no,
day,
I don't give a fuck
a random,
I don't give a fuck about the Mythosian.
I know, I'm just saying, one day,
Yeah,
this whole
okay,
ship is going to die, and I'm not going to feel one iota of guilt. You guys are, like, the fucking worst.
Has that been the case for, like, a lot of parties?
Yeah, I'm always...
Alright then, cool,
I'm
yeah,
always
sorry, moving on.
reminded.
This
This is
always
beyond, like,
happens.
it's hard to be good in Valoros. This is, like, actively being evil.
What do you mean? This is being normal.
You could just have
in Valoros.
normal fucking oarsmen. You don't need to hire slaves.
That's not as cheap.
Oh, God.
Okay.
It was actually more
Alex.
expensive to do this. You took advice from Crab, and I don't even think there's a benefit to doing this.
Well, to get
Because
extra
the
ones
guy
there
who
is.
made a
If you guys
deal with a
lose,
demon.
Oh,
then
yeah.
it will actually help. But
Yeah, Alex, have you considered that it's not evil, it's just market pressures making a good man do bad things?
damn, damn, that's so true, dude. Fuck, I didn't even think about that.
Fuck end stage capitalism.
Has nothing to do with capitalism. This is just, bro. Oh God. Okay. Anyways,
It's the market.
Alex,
OT's
you put
business make more money, win less costs.
You put us in a position to do this to force us to get ahead, and then when we
you
actually
don't
do
need
it,
to
you're
do
like,
it.
oh my
You
god.
literally don't have to.
You
could
have
just
forced
employ
our
normal
hand
workers.
to make demon deals and
Okay,
to buy
well,
slaves.
No, true.
Yeah,
I did
Alex,
do this.
My family is literally starving. So you
So
know.
true, King. Yeah, you're definitely starving. Okay. Anyways, remove 13 gold from your sheet.
Yeah.
And yeah, you guys can go inspect them. They have a pretty wide smattering of age. The oldest is 42, which is probably getting up there for how long you actually want someone to be doing physical labor. I think he's your oldest oarsman. Yeah, he is. The youngest is 16, and they sort of, are roughly spread along that line. They look dead inside, but that's not particularly unique for oarsmen. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to ask them all like how they became enslaved without hinting.
Which one
that
do you
I know.
ask?
All of them. At
Okay,
once.
which one do you... Oh, okay,
One
yeah.
at a time.
Okay, yeah,
One
you
at a
and this guy from the Department of Coin and Captain Svensson head out into the courtyard. There's these 6 men. They are wearing, rough tunic shirts, rough tunic pants. And you ask them how they are doing. Sorry, not how they're doing. How they got enslaved. And they
How
sort of
you
look...
doing, guys?
Jesus
Hey,
fucking
buddy.
Christ.
You want to row a boat for 3 weeks?
Yeah, they look at the oldest man
Weeks.
there. The oldest man has a pretty, large beard, and he'll say, "We got captured."
How?
What do you mean?
I want the details of how you came to be enslaved and if you've been following orders properly.
My work contract would say that I have.
Can I roll like a insight check to just see if this guy's like raw trustworthy?
Sure. What are you doing, Ben?
What's?
Huh?
It sounds like you're
that
sniffing
noise?
or something.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah, I was sniffing.
Okay. Unios, I mean, here's the thing, Unios. Most slaves, if they were ever given the opportunity, would instantly go for freedom. Like, that is obvious. The types of people you have to be worried about are the types that are actually going to organize that escape attempt, specifically on the Defiance, because you are so insanely outnumbered by the number of slaves. But what you see on these guys' face is just all of them look depressed as fuck. Even the young man. These are not probably, I think you get the vibe, these are probably not the type of firebrands to cause a slave revolt.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just giga paranoid about all this, but
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
They
yeah,
all,
I
like-
understand why.
they're all like a normal weight given what they do.
No, they're all a bit skinnier than they should be, but that's also kind of normal for slaves.
better than stronger, I guess.
I mean, like, we kind of need them to be strong.
Yeah, but if they were like overly well fed, I'd be concerned.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. Yeah, yeah. I
Makes
imagine they're
sense.
very like wiry, like stringy muscle.
Yeah.
All right, now I get what you mean, Alex.
Yeah, he gets it, dude. He gets it. Dude, there's just this scene of these two player characters standing in front of 6 slaves being like, yeah, no, I think their physique is good. I think this will work. It's
Yeah, let me see your teeth. Yeah, we can't feed them too much, or
I
else
know,
they'll get
right?
happy.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good idea. Unironically, I
No,
investigated.
guys, might change myself to lawful evil after this.
What am I? Loyalist based. So no one cares.
Well, that's in that campaign where we were using that alignment, yeah.
No, I'm just not going to change it.
Based. We know you're lawful
Okay.
evil, it's okay.
Unironically, yeah, probably true.
You can make it
Alrighty.
for evil again.
Yeah, I mean, everything works out. The Department of Coin representative will, hold out the 6 labor contracts for you to sign.
I'll sign them.
Okay, perfect. He hands them over to you and sort of says, well, business done. Good luck. Hope they work out for you.
Yeah, is there anything else we needed from him?
I don't believe so. If we wanted to, go up to Flamium, we might see about getting our passports or whatever for that.
Oh,
That would be with the harbor master, not with me.
And how long would that take? Do you know?
With the harbor master? I have no idea.
Oh.
They're private. They're not a part of any government department, so.
Ooh.
Apartment harbor.
And can I sell mithril to private buyers? I know that
Mithril in what form?
arrows.
No, illegal. Has to go through the Department of War. Now, you can sell it
Alright,
to other
then.
private buyers, but you have to do it through the medium of the Department of War.
And you asked in what form?
Yes.
Is there a form that allows mithril to be sold to
Of
private
course.
buyers?
Smelted iron would go through us in the Department of Coin. Or smelted mithril
Ah,
in the form of bricks
how
or
long-
whatever else.
how long would that take?
Selling it?
Yeah.
At the moment, I
It's
think
not a-
demand is Mythos is pretty high. Probably Nauseous as well, so we could probably take it off your hands same day.
All right, you said in ingot form.
Ingot form would be ideal, yes.
All right, I can. I think I can make that happen.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Hope you have a good
Other
day.
than that, I think that's about it.
Yeah, he pats you, hands you these 6 slave contracts, and heads back into the Department of Coin.
Sick.
Insane.
Alright,
Insane that you said sick to that. Insane.
Business concluded.
Yeah. All right. Well, the
It
two of
is
you.
ticking away.
Yeah. Kaheen, I believe you were going to go attempt to sell a ballista to a bunch of ship captains.
Yeah.
Illegally.
Yeah.
Do we still want to do that?
Said illegally or
No.
legally?
Illegally. It's supposed to go through the Department
Okay.
of War.
I don't.
That's understandable.
You're just
So,
gonna
I
say
guess
you
now that
tried and
I
then-
think I've gone over everyone to the extent that I wanted to, so now we can sort of zoom out, and I'm just going to say in general to all 6 of you, does anyone have something they would like to do?
Yep.
Adrian.
All right. First off, I need to go get my arrows melted down into ingot.
Great.
That's
Yeah,
not very-
there is no blacksmith in the city that will do that.
God damn it!
Because they know, they know the laws. They know that you're literally, you're supposed to go through the Department of War. They don't want to get in trouble with the Department of War. Also, actually, it's entirely a moot point anyways, because there's no blacksmiths in the dock district. They're all in the, near the coffee houses and stuff on that side of the city.
Oh, I have something I
No.
want to do.
Ben.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't.
Okay, yeah, what else?
I have a couple miscellaneous items that need
Sure.
selling, like mundane items.
Yeah, just depends what they are. Some departments hold super strict monopoly over certain items and don't care about others, so. Just
All
depends
right,
what they are.
an amulet. It just says amulet. No idea what that means.
Non-magical?
If it's valuable or not? Yeah.
Yeah, you can just sell that, to a jewelry
Okay.
store.
Amulet. Oh, perfect. Because the other 2 things are a gold ring and 2 silver rings.
Okay, for all of that, you can find a dwarf who will buy it from you all for 4 electrum.
Based.
Okay, boom. Bada bing, bada boom.
So there's that. Oh, I already have a longbow. Got that. Goodbye to all those things. And the dwarf can't be convinced to melt down my arrows for me?
He is a jewelry smith, not a smith.
Oh, okay. Alright. Yeah. He probably knows how to, though.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the supplies to heat something to the point of melting like that.
Fuck. Alright.
You could
I'll
ask
give up on
Rudo
those.
or Shaiban.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll head back to the ship and ask them.
Alright, and we will cut to
They're there.
Kaheen before we do that. Kaheen, what's up?
I would like to go to the Department of Hags.
Unfortunately, no such thing exists.
Then I will go to the Department of, what is it? Civility?
That is a department, yes.
Yes, I'd like to go there.
Okay, you head up to the courthouse.
Yeah. Is there like a desk that I walk up
Yeah,
to?
there are 3 separate lines. You can't tell what distinguishes them because they're labeled in Mythos, but one of the lines is very long, the other one's like medium length, and the other one has barely any people.
I'll get the one with barely any people.
Okay, yeah, you basically just walk right up to the counter. The woman says something in Mythos.
I reply in common. Hello.
Hi. Do you have your citizenship?
No.
Ah. I think you may want to be in that line then. And she points towards the incredibly long one.
I would like to report something that we found in the Deadwood. Is this the right
yes,
place
that's
to do
wonderful, but you should be in that line.
that? I'll go get in that line.
All right. Ahead of you are people that are injured, a couple of merchants maybe, a very tall Athnoween man who looks pretty pissed off, and one by one, they all seem to give, their entire fucking life story to this clerk because they're taking a long-ass time. Some of them are being handed pieces of paper which they go fill out and bring them back, but the line doesn't move in that time. They wait for the person to fill out the piece of paperwork. It's actually, enragingly inefficient. And about 2 hours later, you find yourself standing in front of this woman.
Hello.
Hi.
I came here on a boat called the Defiance,
All right.
and on our journey, we encountered a hag of the Deadwood. Or, no, it was of the Feywild, right?
Athelorn.
Yeah.
Feywild, yeah.
Yeah. Of the Athelorn Woods.
It's pretty incredible. She just sort of nods.
Is there somewhere I can speak to any officials about hags?
In what capacity?
I have concerns for the health of the Empire.
What specifically are the concerns? Do you think this is something related to an Inquisitor would need to be brought in on? Or are you just seeking to gain more information?
Perhaps an Inquisitor. I believe that people of the Empire are making deals with hags.
Oh, well, yeah, that certainly would include an Inquisitor. All right, yeah, I think I know which form applies to this, and she stands up and walks over towards a filing cabinet, and she reaches inside and pulls out a piece of parchment, and she begins to slide it over and says, "Oh, are you literate?"
Not in Mythos,
All
but
right.
yes.
So here is where you need to write your name. Common is fine. Here you need to write a description of the incident, and then officer from the Department of Faith should contact you as long as you remain in the city. I'll warn you, though, things are pretty slow, what with the war and all. It may be a while.
How long?
Well, we haven't had an Inquisitor in the city for 2 months.
My ship leaves at end of the week.
And this person that you're worried about, they'll be leaving the Empire as well?
Yes.
Oh, well, she takes back the form. Then there's nothing to be concerned about.
Well, there are likely more people in the Empire that are also making these deals.
I'm sure they are, and that's what the Department of Faith looks into full time. The Office of the Inquisition exists to look out specifically for things like this. And of course, we have the judges of the Empire always seeking out any crimes that are being brought against the Empire.
Fine. And I will just leave.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can tell, but you get the sense she either does not believe you or she thinks you're exaggerating because there was a lack of urgency to that conversation.
Well, that's a bummer because I don't think I told a single lie.
Yeah.
This sucks.
I think you said the people of the Empire were making deals, and I don't think...
I believe that to be true.
Citizen.
Yeah, she believes that to be true. All right.
Okay, then.
Yeah,
I don't see why it would only be our boat. Like
I also
The
think
Empire
this would
would
be.
say
I
half
also
of that
believe
right
this would be especially infuriating to Kaheen because the Niftarans have literally no bureaucracy. In fact, bureaucracy is seen as like disgusting to them. They try to deal with stuff on like a human level. So to be so completely stonewalled by just some random ass bureaucrat is probably infuriating.
Yep, that sucked, and I will. What will I do?
Dude, this is brain melting.
Welcome
Yeah,
to the
can I,
Mythosia Empire.
I hate Mythosia. I hate Mythosia so much.
What are all their buildings made out of?
Largely marble and stone.
No wood.
They do have wooden buildings, yeah, but most government buildings are made of marble and stone.
Start a fire?
No, I was gonna do a bit of arson. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Dude, I'm snapping over here.
Well, it was fun having Kaheen on the
Kaheen
ship.
goes to the big city and instantly commits terrorism.
All right. I'll just like go to the boat or something. I hate it here.
Welcome to Mythosia. All right. Cool. Blake, do you have any thoughts on what you were meant to do?
Well, after reading it for a bit, I think I've deciphered it.
Okay.
So, so foxglove in a cocoon of spider silk. I'm not sure how I could wrap the fox glove in spider silk, but
I believe it says foxglove's tears, specifically.
Dewdrops from the leaves of foxglove. Is there any like plant life in the district that?
Yeah, of course. There are parks and things like that. And foxglove would definitely grow there. I mean, again, it's one of the endemic plants of the Mythosian Empire.
Collect dewdrops from leaves of foxglove in a cocoon. Okay, so I'm gonna find, what is it? A spider web.
That is very easy to find. Yeah, right after leaving the bookstore, you just look to your left, and on an old like apartment building that's still lived in, you can see a spider has made a nice little web.
Yeah, I'm gonna blow it off and take its silk.
Fucking brutal. Jesus, you annihilate its web, and you sort of kind of like gather it together. And I think you have this problem, which is gathering spider webs is not that hard, but gathering enough to make something that's going to be able to hold liquid is probably going to take quite a bit of time, or some sort of magic to make it like reinforced.
Let's see what I have.
He's fading. He's dying.
Dude, I have been awake for a long time now. And I've just gotten off of studying for 6 hours, going to work, coming back, studying for 3 more hours, and doing this.
Pog.
It's hard, man.
Cope.
All right, I think it's time to recruit Kaheen. Force her to solve this fucked up riddle.
I can do it.
Yeah. Crab. What does Crab have? What does Crab have?
Ask why.
Crab is, you go to the captain's cabin on the ship where Crab almost always is, and he is not there at the moment.
Is he not gonna help?
I didn't say that.
what
He's
did
just not in the captain's cabin right now.
What did he say earlier? He said like he's gonna have to commune before he helps to see if it's what his patron wants. I'm gonna look around the ship, see if he's.
Yeah, you do not find him on the Defiance. You find Shaibon is like tearing up the floor of the captain's cabin to try to make a hidden area for supplies. Vezio is just like laying on his hammock and looks depressed as fuck, and Kaheen is like just staring off into the open ocean with. What would you even describe the expression as, Ben?
Like a subdued rage.
Well, yeah, Kaheen is staring off into the open ocean with a subdued rage. The crew is not good vibes right now.
Okay, I'll give Vezio a gold and I'll leave.
Like, what? Any more context to that? Do you just walk up to his bunk and toss a gold at him?
I mean, he looks sad, and gold made him
Oh,
happy.
wait,
so
sorry. Riddle walked by, right?
Yeah.
I wanna stop him.
Okay,
Rudolph.
what's up?
Why are you using hag magics on Arcana?
It's not hag magic, and if you knew any basic amount of the arcane, you'd know it is artificer magic. And
I know
so
much
I'm
of the
kind of
arcane.
busy. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I'm gonna be on my way now.
Sleep-deprived Rudolph.
You cannot leave.
Well, seeing as I'm your boss, I'm gonna tell you to get on my way.
You are.
I'm your
Excuse me?
boss. Yeah, I'm your boss. Is the bosun ahead of the quartermaster?
No.
Is that?
No,
Oh,
not at all.
Well then redact that. I never said that. Well, on what grounds are you stopping me?
Because you are using hag magics on our ship.
Okay. I'm gonna jump overboard and I'm gonna swim to shore.
You can't just walk around her? You gotta jump over the board.
Yeah, I guess I could just walk around her. Unless she's like actively gonna like impede my path.
Okay, you just walk around.
If I wasn't beating your path, I would stop you from jumping overboard.
Yeah,
Alright,
I guess
you just
that's
walk
a good
around
point.
Kaheen and continue about. Well, I want to cut back in time. Vezio, you're laying on your hammock.
Oh yeah.
Vezio, you're fucking sad, man. You're not feeling. You're not doing it. And then
Lost all your coin.
a coin just hits you in the face. What do?
Where'd this come from? I just looked
Yeah,
around.
you look over and you see Rudo walking past you. He didn't like stop to talk or anything. He just threw a gold coin at your face and walked away.
I'm gonna give him a thumbs up and it's just.
Well, I know what I'm doing for the rest of the time.
What are you doing with the money?
A gold coin doesn't go very far, but a few gold coins.
Yeah, so you should earn a couple more, right?
Sure.
Earning money, parentheses, I'm gambling.
Is that the plan?
He's not gonna do it.
Yeah. I'm just matching Vezio's vibe, bro. He's not much of a talker. Just don't talk at all. Just give him the gold and walk away.
Okay.
He might split it, although he doesn't want to pay many money changes, so he's just gonna do that for now.
Okay.
Gamble
Well,
with the whole gold ball.
Toss a
Rudo,
coin to your Witcher.
Slightly less
You-
depressed.
escape the Kaheen random encounter by walking away. What do you do next?
Dude, where did we pick up this fucking like hippie? What
She
the
was
fuck
only
is this?
navigator you could find.
Like last
kind of
time,
an important role.
last time we interacted, she went ooga dooga and like shot some lightning out of her hands.
She did do that.
It's so fucking weird. Like it's not even like arcane to where like I know what it's about, where like wizards read it out of a book. She just like was like, sky gods, help me out here, and like missed completely and
Yeah.
hit part of like the other boat.
That did happen.
Shit's insane.
Yeah.
And she's like,
Wait, what did I do?
There was that spell
Huh?
that you cast, I think. I don't remember which specific one it is.
it's
but
guiding
yeah.
bolt.
Guiding
She cast
bolt,
guiding
yeah.
bolt, and you got a 1. No, you didn't get a 1. You hit him, but you got like minimum damage.
It was rough. It was a rough guiding bolt.
Okay, I cast one bad spell.
But my
Where's the
point is
fire?
like it's not anything Riddle understands because he knows arcane. He just doesn't understand that people could be like
Yeah, just smell.
Shmeep.
Yeah.
Like bang, there it is.
All right. Well,
Shmeep.
how are you gonna get a cocoon of spider silk capable of holding water?
Let's see what I got here. I can enhance it as a weapon. Yeah, I could definitely
You
do
could
that.
actually, yeah, you could infuse the spider silk with our artifact and magics to try to make it more robust.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and do that.
It's
Okay.
gonna work.
You spend, I think, a couple hours probably, because this is not like a simple 10-minute, oh, it's infused. It's more of like I collect a bit of spider silk, I see if it can hold water, it does not work. I do it again, I get a little bit more this time, I use a different enchantment. And what you find is that you have a infusion that enchants armor. It increases its AC, and when you use that infusion on a tiny little cocoon of spider silk, basically like 4 or 5, webs worth, you can get a tiny little thing that can hold maybe 2 or 3 drops of water, tops. And it's also probably the best you're going to get, because spider silk is not very structurally sound.
Okay, what if I did it? You said 5 or 6 spider silk, and I could hold a couple drops.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna double that because I don't think there's a lack of spider webs.
That is probably true. Are you going to hire urchins to assist in this, or is this just Riddle's task for the better part of the day?
Yeah, I'll toss a coin. I'll toss like a silver to like a kid. Like
Yeah.
Silver.
Okay, yeah.
20
you'll find
bucks
yourself...
to gather.
No, that's a lot. Yeah, you'll find yourself swamped with urchin children collecting. I mean, spiderwebs are about, like you said, the easiest thing to find ever. So I think within about 10 minutes, you'll be swamped with 20 plus, 40 plus, however many you want webs. How many do you want? Because you're gonna have to pay out that many silver.
Is it like how? What's the rate here? Like 1 for 5?
You can
1
set up
silver
whatever
for
rate
5.
you want, man.
Okay, I'm gonna say 1 silver for 10.
Okay. Yep, they'll still do it. I mean, it's free money for them basically. So yeah.
Alright, so that gets rid of.
Yeah, I think you're
3.
you're getting to the point where this amount of spider silk is no longer assisting the structural integrity. You just sort of I mean, it's making it bigger. Do you have any idea how many of these you're going to need to collect? Like how many drops of liquid?
Let's see what she said. Collect dewdrops from the leaves in a cocoon of spider silk. So I assume it's just like 3 or 4 maybe.
Great. Then you have a tiny little thing. It's very fragile. Like if you fall or someone bumps into you or something, it could break it. But you have a little cocoon of spider silk ready to go.
Okay.
You just pay a bunch of street children $20 or $2 per spider web.
True, you do own street children, so you wanted 10, so you probably owe 2 silver to street children.
Oh shit, I needed to do this at close to midnight. Well, shit. Well, I'll wait till midnight and do it again.
You're going to build the whole cocoon again at midnight?
Well, it says when the moon ascends to the apex of the sky, I have to collect the dewdrops from.
Yep.
Well, do I have to destroy the whole thing to recollect the dewdrops?
So far, you haven't collected any dewdrops. You just made a cocoon.
Okay. All right. Let me just read through this before we fast forward.
That's fine. I'm willing to give you as much time you need to parse what she's trying to get you to do, because there are very specific instructions.
Place the vessel of Foxglove Tears within a fairy circle. So the fairy circle. You never really gave us what the fairy circle looks like.
You don't know what a fairy circle is.
I mean, we saw one on the ship.
That was not a fairy circle.
That was not a fairy circle?
No.
Okay, I'm going back to the bookstore and looking at books of fairies.
Alrighty. Almost instantly, probably on the first or second page, it's just a cool little illustration in the corner. Oh, this is a fairy circle. It's just a ring of mushrooms.
A ring of mushrooms, huh?
Yeah. Mushrooms that make a circle.
Are they planted?
They can be, but they also occur in nature relatively frequently, both in real life and in Valros.
Is there one in the park?
Yeah, I think it takes you a bit of searching. You know, we're starting to, I'd say we're crawling well into the evening as the crew of the Defiance, those who still have money anyways, begin to party. And yeah, you will find that in one of the parks, past a sort of like open air statuary garden, there is a fairy circle.
Okay, moonlight night is more stupid. Strew the dewy gems in a winter shines ballet. I assume that just means it's a specific kind of ballet. What do books say about a winter shines ballet?
Yeah, you pull up a book on ballet, I assume.
Yeah.
Roll me an investigation check, actually, as you look through this this bookstore.
Oh, fuck. Dude, I could barely see straight. I'm trying.
I can tell, bro. You sound very sleepy. Yeah, you will find, not in the ballet section of the store, but instead in the Fey section of the store. Wintershins is this really sort of whimsical way just to refer to counterclockwise.
Ah.
Or Wintershins.
Okay.
So presumably it means dancing counterclockwise.
Circle and walk around as you circle. I mean, the second step doesn't say clockwise or counterclockwise, so I assume it means... Wintershin means you said counterclockwise?
Correct.
Okay, I'm gonna walk around it like 3 times and then 3 times again.
When you get there, it is not yet midnight. You said you wanted to figure this out before fast forwarding.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I'm just planning it out. I'm just talking out loud.
I see. Okay. Well, you will have a bit of time before midnight rolls around, so I am going to ask the rest of the crew. And is there anything you guys want to do today before we go to the next day?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I want to stalk Rudel. I want to turn into a little rat and follow him when he goes somewhere tonight.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, he will be leaving the ship in the dead of night. That is somewhat unusual. Anything else? Oh, Ethan, you said you want to do something.
Yeah, we need to go get some miscellaneous crewmen now that we have the dead slaves.
Yeah. That will be a bit more complicated. You and your friend Unios, if you'd like to bring him, can go to the Department of Coin, and there is actually a shortage of skilled sailors in the harbor. So there just aren't people that can fulfill those jobs. Because most of the ships that are sitting here in harbor, the ship captains didn't give up their crews. They're still hoping to leave, so all their people are employed. And most of the people already got on other ships that were leaving the harbor. Like those who were let go, they signed on to the first ship leaving harbor. So there are not that many people that would match the description you're looking for.
When you say not that many, do you mean none?
No, you can find one topman, but you don't need a topman. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how about carpenters?
Yeah, you can make your way to the Carpenters Guild, and they will be willing to sign on one carpenter. However, you would be paying them a flat rate, not ship share.
What would the flat rate be?
2.5 gold a month.
Isn't that what we're paying the sailmaker?
That's what you're paying Democritus. The sailmaker gets 10 gold a month.
Oh, I can definitely pay a carpenter the exact same I'm paying Democritus. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sounds good. You guys can get one carpenter from that.
But Ethan.
Yes.
The carpenter won't make us legends and heroes.
And how about Marines, Alex? Fighting men.
Yeah, the Department of War has forbid any man from signing on as a mercenary unless they first do a term with the legions, because they're fighting a war right now. So you'll be unable to find any.
Okay.
How much gold am I taking from the sheet for the combined dead slaves and carpenters?
I believe Ethan paid for it out of pocket.
Oh no, that is not a cost I understand.
Oh, did you remove 13 gold from the sheet?
I had it on me, it was my personal gold. I just need to go then take 13 gold from the ship's sheet. So
and
no,
reimburse yourself. Okay. Sounds
yes.
good.
So 13 total?
And then also 2.5 for the first month, I would imagine, for the carpenter.
Blake, what are you doing, bro?
Blake, is there?
I almost fell asleep in my chair and I almost
No
fell.
way. This man's needed to take a nap.
And then fucking
So taking 2.5 off will be weird because we have to go to money changer, right? Because there's only gold on the ship.
Correct. Yes.
I love
Well.
Valorant.
Oh shit.
To
Yeah, I
be
guess
fair,
we're
you
going to
did
the money
sign up
changer.
as the accountant of the ship.
Alright, so what is that? 2 Electrum now? So take away 3 gold. Or so let's see. 16 gold and then add 2 Electrum.
Alright.
You know what's funny? I woke up like 5 hours ago. I'm fully awake, and Blake being tired is making me tired. Like hearing,
Same here.
hearing sleepy Blake is making me sleepy.
the only thing I'm thinking about is I'm just worried that like Gaheen's just gonna watch Riddle do this shit and then just be like, aha, and then Kumlethra's gonna be like, you have to kill her now.
That
And then
would
it's
be
like,
very unfortunate if you had to do that. But to be fair, it's Kaheen's
You wouldn't be
fault,
able to
so-
kill me. You wouldn't be able to kill me.
I
Well,
believe
I
he
know.
is 6 levels higher than you, so I think.
I am far too powerful.
Oh, okay.
While we're
I
at the
believe
money
like
changer,
one firebolt is enough to kill you.
While you're at the money changer,
do we want to like put some of the treasury gold into smaller denominations just so we have them?
No, I don't think it's worth it, because, I mean, on the scale of ships anyway, we deal with gold most of the time. And, like, losing 30% of any large amount of money is just such a horrible investment.
Yeah. Alright.
Like, we're already strapped enough for cash as is.
yeah, when the month turns around, you're gonna lose another 15 gold as well. So,
What for?
Sailmaker, Democritus, New Carpenter.
Yeah.
I mean, we actually, like, instead of going to the money changer, I think that we save money by just paying him 3 gold.
That actually,
Right? You're losing
yeah.
1/6, which is less than 30%.
No, because we only lose 3 Electrum for every gold we give versus we
Well,
lose
luckily it
5
doesn't matter
Electrum
too
for
much
that
because you
gold
have 2
here.
people that are 2.5, so it's just 15 gold a month.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Oh.
okay.
I am gonna break one of my personal electrum into, what is it, 20 silver?
Well, no, it'd be less than that. It'd be 20 times. It'd be 14 silver. Post money changer.
14. Alright.
Alrighty. Cool. Is there any random purchasing things, or should we dive into Rudel in the dead of night? Rudel and Blake will be the same, both incredibly exhausted. Any final
I would like-
things?
Do we have someone who could kill like 10 minutes so we can do this not horribly?
What do you mean?
I'm already ready. Just let me
He's
do
ready
this and
to,
go to
he's
bed,
ready to cook.
please.
Dude. He's gonna cook, okay?
Please just let me
Alright.
do this and
He's
go
ready
to bed,
to
please.
cook.
I-
Wait,
I
Vezio,
don't
do you want to
want-
gamble tonight?
No.
Okay. You save your coin. You keep your secrets. And Rudel, as evening falls, you shmee. You honk, shoo, 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 shoo. And then at around 11 in the evening, as the moon
Dead
comes
ass.
high...
That noise made me so tired.
As the moon rises high into the sky, you raise from your hammock. Groggy, exhausted, you walk out onto the deck of the Defiance. There's no night night watch. And I would like you to make a simple perception check. And Kaheen, you are following him in a little shmeep shmeep rat form.
Yes. Rat boy.
Where's perception? I can't see it.
It's P.
It's the most ironic thing I've ever said in my life.
Yeah, you look around the deck. You see a little rat scurry up from the hold. I think all that you think of is, when you get back in the morning, you're going to have to tell the captain to look for rats because you don't want those still being on the ship, in when you leave harbor. So,
Yeah. Riddle's just gonna shake his head and be like, this place is gross.
Yeah, fucking nasty ass. So, what now, Rudel?
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the park.
All
Yeah.
right, you spend about 20 minutes walking to the park. It's like 11:20 now.
Okay. I'm gonna collect some dewdrops in the spider silk.
Yeah, you're lucky. It's a light rain going on, so you collect a couple of raindrops, 3 or 4. You don't have like a lid to this little cocoon of spiderweb you've made, so it sort of just fills up to the edge.
I'm taking notes in my little rat brain.
Okay.
And then I'll place place the vessel of Foxtrot in the fairy circle that I found earlier.
Yeah, you walk over to the center of the circle of mushrooms. You place down your little cocoon of spiderweb, pointing upwards.
And then
So it's
I will
about
walk-
11:40 now.
yeah. I will walk thrice around the circle and then thrice again.
All right. How many
And
times is
I
that?
will think 6.
Okay.
Why are you
And
making
then
why, Alex?
I'm
and
just
then during
clarifying.
it I will think of the stories and songs my mom sung to me as I slept before bed every night when I
You're
was a
strong,
child.
man.
And yeah, me myself, I will think of sleep and almost hit my table as in real life. That actually just happened. Oh my god,
Nice.
I thought too hard of sleep. I thought way too hard of sleep.
Rudel nearly falls asleep while doing his little dancing circle.
And then, as moonlit night turns into the shadowed morn, can
What
I
does
roll
that
an
mean?
intelligence?
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll an intelligence check.
For what?
Intelligence check for
I
awakening.
I
You know-
skipped over that whole part because it was.
Blake, if you want, I can give you some alaca fibers to smoke out of my pipe.
All right.
Okay,
What are
is
you
that-
rolling the intelligence for?
Shadowmoor is just like at midnight, right?
Shadowed morn would be dusk, the time between nightfall and day rays.
Okay.
Or dawn,
and then,
sorry, dawn.
So I'll just wait until that point.
All right, you lay on the grass. I think Rudel probably falls asleep for a little bit and then wakes back up. Rat Kaheen, you are limited on how long you can be a rat for. So I think as Rudel is laying on this grass, getting all wet, just sort of sprawled out
2
looking at the
hours.
sky. Yes, correct. He's waiting there for about 4 or 5. So as he's laying there on the grass, you feel that soon your rat form will no longer work. You'll turn back into a human.
Okay. In that case, then so he's asleep, yeah?
He's he's doing some honk shmee shmee shmee.
Okay, if he's honk shmee shmee shmeeing, then I would just like to find like a sufficiently good place to hide and watch him.
Yeah, you head over to a bush. Your little rat bones crack and extend, and your fur retracts, and clothes sprout from your flesh, and you are back to Kaheen. And Rudel wakes up, and Rudel, you can see just the very beginnings of purple on the distant horizon. What now?
Okay. I will do a Windershin ballot, which means foolish. I guess like do a little Fey dance in a counterclockwise.
Yeah, what's
That's
the
what I
little
meant,
fade
yeah.
dance?
I guess
the
it's just
gritty?
like
Are you getting sturdy?
I think it's just very like yeah, I'm doing the gritty like around the whole face or like counterclockwise. No, I think it's just very like fluid and very ballet with like very random in its course, but still
Yeah.
very like gentle.
Okay.
So just random gentle like circles around to the
How many times?
until the break of dawn.
Okay, so for the next 40 or so minutes, it's sweaty, it's exhausting. You're doing this little goofy dance, a little Joker dance, a little bit of gritty, a little bit of hit him with the stanky leg. You do this around this fairy circle over and over and over and over, and exhausted, plastered with sweat, you see the sun finally crack and appear over the horizon, bringing with it the dawn.
And then I will say, hither, thither, starry tether. That says tether, right?
Yeah.
Tether, lull to sleep now and forever. Once this is done, you will simply say thus. Clemretha, Clemretha, Clemretha.
As you say the final Clemretha, the shadows around you within this park in the early dawn grow very deep and very dark. And your brand, for the first time in a long time, doesn't feel hot. You feel cool air sort of wash over it. And you feel this relief, a very powerful relief. And then the brand heats up again after just a couple of seconds of that beautiful relief, and you hear a voice in your head. Festinia died. Her nightmares consumed her. Already you are paying off your end of the bargain, so I shall grant you a gift. I ask you but one question. This power you seek, is it of the body, or is it of the mind?
Mind.
Alrighty. You feel your chest get hotter and hotter. That heat seems to extend along your throat up into your head. Your mind is burning. You are vaguely aware that you fall to the ground, clutching your head. Tears begin to leak from the side of your head by the agony of the pain. But by the time it subsides, you feel that your awareness, your perception has increased.
Wait, how long is he on the ground?
Probably 3 or 4 seconds.
Oh, okay.
And Rudel, your intelligence has increased by 2.
Oh, nice.
Damn,
I'm
that's like
at
a level up bonus.
Yeah.
I'm at 20 intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
What
genius.
would my strength have increased by 2 if I chose body?
I'm not going to tell you.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. That was actually really worth it.
So
Depends
it's
what
like
Kaheen does.
4:30 in the morning. Sorry, no, it would be sunrise. So it's like 5:30 in the morning. You're covered in sweat. Your head is still pounding with a headache. You're exhausted. So, you know, you're yourself right now. What now?
Would I be in trouble if I fell asleep here?
On the open grass of a park?
Yeah, probably.
You may get
I
poked
think I'm
by
just-
like a marine or something, or by a legionnaire or something, but as far as you know, it's nothing like super crazy.
I think just to be safe and to like stay out of, because till Rudo knows, like no one knew that he was out here doing this.
Yeah.
Just to like just sneak back onto the ship and like back to where he was sleeping the whole time.
Okay. Roll a perception check as you begin to make your way back to the ship. And Kaheen, as Rudel stands up and begins to walk towards the ship, what is your method of following him?
Oh, I'm not gonna get out of this bush for a while. I kind of want him to be far away before I get
perfect. Then yeah, Rudel, you are not followed as you make your way back to the Defiance. A couple people are standing on the top deck already. I mean, it is sunrise, which is when most people wake up, but they don't really pay you any particular attention. You head down into the hammocks, into the warmth of where other people are sleeping. You climb up into a hammock, and you drift off into sleep. And Blake, if you would
Alex, I
like to
have a
bounce out and get some sleepy time, that's fine.
Is there anything else that's
Probably
gonna
not for
happen?
you, no.
Okay.
All right,
I have
buddy.
a question about what I saw, Alex.
Yeah, we'll get to that definitely.
Okay, I want to hear it then.
okay.
I'll just sit here. I'll just lie back, and if I fall asleep, it happens.
Which you will. Ben, what's your question?
So, I guess I don't know too much about hags.
Yeah.
But I think I know a good amount about demons.
Interesting. Where does this knowledge come from?
I thought like demon stuff was just like more prevalent in like El Sarah and shit.
I would not say that.
Oh.
I mean, it is there, but I wouldn't say it's more prevalent than anywhere else.
And metagame moment. And metagame moment.
That's
think
why
that's
he asked.
I thought that that's something my
No,
character.
yeah, that's fair. I think, I mean, you know the general stuff everyone does about demons. There's generally 4 of
Okay.
them.
Well,
Yeah, they have
I guess I'm
domains.
trying to figure out if it's well, I guess it's metagaming that like I know that Clemreth is a demon. What I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out is I guess all that stuff appeared to be like Fae and Hag type
Absolutely,
stuff,
yeah,
right?
that
Like,
was super haggy shit.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then, yeah, he's doing hag magic.
He's
and
doing
that's
hag
bad.
magic after saying he wasn't
magic
doing
is
it. Can you fucking believe this guy?
Yeah, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden my cannon's about to get stronger.
Yeah, and it's definitely not. It's definitely not the ritual he performed the night before he did or the night after he did the infusion. Yeah, definitely not.
First the cannon gets stronger, and then he does something weird.
Yeah,
Hag magic.
pretty weird. Yeah, I mean that literally does sound like hag magic. To be fair.
That literally,
Yeah.
literally like to a T.
Yeah.
Even
So,
though everyone told her it was not hag magic.
Yeah, but it seems a lot like.
Yeah,
hag
but they
magic.
didn't know that you just went and did a ritual.
Yeah, true. So yeah, I mean, Kaheen, what now?
All right. Well, after some time, we'll climb out of this bush.
Yeah. People are going on their
good.
morning walks, and there's just Kaheen covered in twigs and bush detritus.
Yeah, I try and dust all that off. I got a Juba cloak, so it stands up pretty well to that kind of thing.
That is true.
So I'll just kind of brush a lot of that off. And I will make my way back to the ship and sleep because I'm also tired. I've been up all night watching him.
It is true. Alrighty. Well, that would bring us into our third day, but that's almost 4 hours. Man, Blake's big sleepy energy is contagious. I'm feeling sleepy
Do
too.
we have much else to do at port, or can we just blow through
That's
it?
actually a good question. Well, actually, let me look at my list of things. Let me take a look. Yes, there are a couple other things to happen while you guys are on port. If we want, we can do some really quick metagame, like purchasing and selling of items, but I think we got most of that done earlier. So I think, yeah. Any final things that anyone would like to do on the third day of the rest? Anything for you, Vezio?
I think we were talking about outfitting the Marines at some stage. I don't know if this would be a good place to do it, though.
Yeah,
Oh, no, it
we're
would
gonna
be
do
terrible. We can't do it because we're stuck in the docks.
Oh, yeah, in terms of like going to a blacksmith, yeah.
Yeah.
The main reason I ask if there's anything you want to do in particular is because you'll likely not be here next time, so if there's anything you want to do while in port, now would be the time.
Well, if you want to pay
No.
Crab, he's a transmutation alchemist, so he could probably do something about it, but that's up to him.
I don't think there's anything there.
Okay.
If there's
Alrighty
something
then.
specific in my downtime, I can message you, but like I need to do.
Yeah, I don't think so. So with that, that was our Anime Beach episode of just, checking in with people when they have free time. Next week, I believe we'll probably be wrapping up our port leave and then crossing the Hammer's Fall. It'll be very dangerous. And I think that is all. So I will see you guys then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.